I guess on my hair, she look alright. And with that actually sitting there like this creams, and I had to have them, sis. All 5 of them. Here, I just had, we're gonna discontinue it, but I had to pick up their book of shadows, honey. Color grade makes cheap fan, expensive breeze, good times. Wow, so serious. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is Torrence here, and today's video, as you can see, I'm fighting with this huge box here because I am going to be doing a haul for you all. This is everything that I've purchased since I broke my leg on May 20th, honey. If you all want to hear about that, you can check out this video here, which I'll link above. But basically, y'all already know, I was supposed to be on a budget. I was supposed to be watching what I was doing, but during that time, I was hurt, honey, physically and mentally. And anytime something came across my screen that I liked, I'm like, you know what? I'm already denying myself the ability to walk, the ability to live by myself, because we need some help. What we ain't going to do is deny ourselves some makeup. So, honey, I got a ton of stuff in here. And it didn't hit me until I decided to record this video. And I should have did this when somebody was home to help me. I kept trying to tell myself, Torrence, we don't want to inconvenience nobody. We don't want nobody coming in. I'm just saying, can you move this? Can you do that? So we gonna wait till the family leave. We gonna do this by ourselves. Not a smart idea. But once again, this ain't my normal setup. Y'all know I'm at my mom's house. So right now we in the storage room. We just chilling out. Because I figure if for any reason I make a mess back here, nobody's gonna know that. And ain't nobody gonna get on my head about it. So enough talking, let's get into it. And I did bring my Sailor Moon fan today, yes, because remember last time, y'all, it was a little heated back here. The air is on, but moving my big self around and trying to balance on this stool, baby, it's a fight and a struggle. And this box right here, she keep fighting with me. And it, y'all want to see what's there? Let's go on and get into it, because I've been talking long enough. Make sure y'all subscribe. Y'all know all the good stuff. But honey, first thing first, I'm trying to cover up this one here. I don't think I have like anything specific. I got some high-end stuff, some low-end stuff. But what I want to try to do is make sure I cover this address, because I don't need to be putting all that on the internet. Okay, in this box, this is my Juvia's Place stuff, honey. I had already took these out the box, so y'all already know with Juvia's Place, the packaging in the box is usually the same. First, we have the bronzer duo. This is in the shade 10. I had to get this. Y'all know I stay up on Juvia's Place. I don't play about them. So when they came out with the 5 bronzer duos, I had to get the one that I thought would suit me best. This is the one in 10. That's what she looks like. I want to make sure this camera is getting a good view of that. Okay, the outside packaging, y'all already know Juvia's Place does not play with their outside packaging, honey. They always got things looking nice. We also got their blush duos, honey. You know I've collected every single eyeshadow palette and every single blush that Juvia's Place has ever put out. So when they did these little duo palettes, I had to grab them. This is Blush Rouge Volume 1. Packaging looking stellar, honey. Same size as the bronzer duos. Volume 1 seems to be the darker of the 2 duos. Y'all know I absolutely love me some blushes. Trying to make sure I get y'all a good view of this and focus. The thing is, once again, we're not in my normal area, so please just, you know, bear with me. This is Blush Rouge Volume 2. I believe this is the lighter one of the 2. Oh yeah, you can definitely tell. Those are some much lighter colors. These are the type of colors that I really need to be getting into, honey. Because I'm the type of person who likes to go all out with my blushes. Before I got into eyeshadows, blushes was my thing. What else we got in here? Oh, the eyeshadow palettes. This was the Bronze Rustic. If you all want to see a tutorial with any of the Juvia's Place palettes that they've ever released, go ahead, leave that comment down below, because I have every single palette. And now I get to add these to my collection. I have not used them, but I did take them out the box. This is the Bronze Rustic. The box looked just like this, honey. She is beautiful. On the inside here, this is one of their 6-pan palettes. Juvia's Place has been doing more 6-pan palettes, and truth be told, I honestly miss the 9-pans. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. These 6-pans are beautiful, but I fell in love with the 9-pans when they first came out, and I honestly wish they would go back to them. This one here is the Blushed Rose. This is another one I took out the box, but I had to put them with this collection because I did buy them before the end. This is what this color story looks like on the inside, and I really can't wait to get into this, honey. I haven't been wearing makeup lately, but I cannot wait to see what these colors look like on the eyes. Look at that. She is fabulous, honey. And what else is in this one? Oh, I also got the 2 lip glosses that came with this collection. Whoop, almost dropped her, honey. Caught that. With this collection came 2 lip glosses. This first one is called Bronzed Rose. And I'm just now realizing I don't have anything with me to clean up and do swatches, so we'll just have to do swatches if we ever do this collection. This other one is called Bronze Sugar. She's a lighter color. And I want to hold these side by side just so you all can see what that look like. Bronze Rose is on top. Bronze Sugar is on the bottom. And I am hoping and praying that that catches that in view. They're very similar colors, so to me, you probably don't need both. But just because I love my glosses, honey, I had to have them. What is these? Oh, these few items here. Trying to make sure I don't drop or lose nothing. This here is a Colourpop No Filter Powder Puff. I purchased an extra one of these just because I know in a minute I'm going to want to test out some powders. And I've been trying to find a dupe for the Laura Mercier puff. This is what the box looks like for this. Alright, she's not going to give us a look at that box, but this is just a plain puff right here. Doesn't look like anything fancy or anything, but I'm just trying to find something to, like I said, replace those Laura Mercier ones because those are expensive. And I just know Colourpop is affordable. Also, I have the Soul Face and Body Bronzing Balm. I got mine in the shade Medium Dark. You know, cream bronzer and cream contours are just all the rage right now. And although I generally prefer powder products, I just wanted to see, you know, what type of products they're bringing out into the world, test them out. I don't see it, you know, taking over for powder for me personally, but we're going to just test this out. This is what the box looks like. The problem is I wanted that brush as well. Unfortunately, that brush stays sold out. So I am signed up for the emailing list on that, but we're just going to wait for it to come out and see. This here is what the container looks like. It says you get 31 grams, which is way more than I thought it was going to be. So that is plenty of product. Let's see what she looks like on the inside. Okay, she even has this little cap over it, so it looks like it'll protect it. So that's nice and cute, but this is the color I got. And this is what the color looks like without the cap on it. I wanted something just slightly darker than my complexion to warm it up. I honestly believe I could probably go even 1 shade darker, but I wanted to test the formula out, so I only got 1 shade. I wasn't about to go all out. And last but not least in that box is this little synthetic brush. This was from the, I believe, the Makeup Revolution. I'm not sure, but it was the Aristocats collection. I had to have this little Marie paw brush. Oh my God, it looks like a miniature cat paw. I bought 2 of them. 1 for use, 1 for collector's purpose, and I don't regret nothing. Anybody who knows me knows I love brushes, especially kabuki brushes, and I love cats. So the fact that this looks like a little kitty paw, and it was Marie from Aristocats, come on now. I had to have it. And I don't know exactly what I'm going to use this for, but I had to have her. No question about it. Even when I first bought it, all I kept saying is, Torrence, you going over your budget to get this, but it wasn't no question about it. I hope they actually come out with other items like this, but considering the fact it's a Disney license, I'm quite sure they don't want to pay that fee, so we might not get this again. Because we were already on Colourpop and Juvia's Place, we'll stay with those 2. Next up, I have this palette here. This is the, I believe, the Your Golden palette. I got this one simply because it had a pop of green. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I already have the Bare Necessities palette, which I believe is their large neutral palette. They also have the Stone Cold Fox, which is their large cool toned. And this here, the Your Golding, is the large warm tone palette. First off, that little touch of gold already had me going. This palette is just simple and pretty, but once you get on the inside, it's a basic warm tone neutral palette. But that little pop of green is what sold me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I did not need this palette at all. Look at the colors on this. I was trying to find a lighting situation that'll give you the best colors of this, well, the best view of the colors, because I want you to see realistically what it looks like. And it's just a bunch of basic warm neutrals, but take those 3 pops of green in there, and that's what made me get it. So I promise you, if you all have a neutral eyeshadow palette that you already love, more than likely you won't need this one. But I'm a sucker and I'm a collector, so I just had to have them. Next up in this box here is the rest of the Juvia's Place palettes that I purchased. This is the 4 quads that they just came out with. I'm not sure what the collection was called again. Oh, the Rebel collection. It's right here on the box. I picked up all 4. These here have not been opened, but I want to show you what the boxes look like for these. First up, we have the Rebel Army palette here. This comes in the green box. We have the Rebel Grays palette. We have the Rebel Honey palette. And we have the Rebel Mint palette. First, I want to show you once again the cover of each palette. This here is the Rebel Army palette. It's a nice small quad. This one has, looks like 2 mattes and 2 shimmer greens. Absolutely beautiful. If nothing else, you all know this is the one I was going to get. Greens are my favorite eyeshadow color, and I like dark greens over light greens, so this was the very first one I had to have. Next up, we have the Grays palette here. Honey, let me tell you, I know a lot of people prefer warm tone colors, but I am a huge fan of cool tones. This is what the palette looks like on the outside. This one here has, it looks like 1 matte, 1 satin, and 2 metallics. I personally wish they would have done all of them with 2 mattes and 2 shimmers, but you know what? We're going to take all the cool tones we can get from any brand that we like and support. This is what this palette looks like on the inside. I'm hoping I can get this palette in focus and under good lighting, but I personally have not used any of them, but I think just for a shocker, this may be one of the ones I use right after that green one, just because I don't think many people are going to go after this particular palette. The next one up is the Honey palette. Honey, I think she's going to probably be the best seller of them all just because she's neutral. The name Honey is nice. The colors in here are beautiful. And if nothing else, it's because it's the one with the most mattes. They put 3 mattes in this palette and 1 metallic. And I think a lot of people are generally going to like this. Warm neutrals have always been big and always been in. So I think this palette is going to do very, very well. The last one here is the Mint palette, and it was the one I was probably least excited to get just simply because I'm not someone who's a big fan of pastels. I really like, give me the pigment or don't give me none at all, honey. But because it was greens, I had to have it, and because I collect all the Juvia's Place palettes, you wasn't going to slow me down with this one. If I was going to get all of them, I had to have all of them, including this one here. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be too excited to use her, but I do got her. And I'm just hoping I can catch this in focus because I'm trying to make sure you all see good quality on everything. If for any reason anything was out of focus and you all want a dedicated video, just don't forget to leave me a comment down below and I can make that happen for you all. But that was these 4 palettes here, and I think this was everything I got from Juvia's Place. So I'm about to put these back in the box and I'll be right back with the next box. Alright, now that we done put that box to the side, our next one is going to be this one standing right here sticking out. I figured since she already trying to come out, let's go ahead and show her. This, oh, my Lethal Cosmetics collection, honey. Lethal is dead. Oops, I done dropped a little card that came with it. Be right back. Okay, I am back, and this is my Lethal Cosmetics Lethal is Dead collection. I have never ever purchased from Lethal Cosmetics. It always seemed like the things that I wanted from them was sold out. So I'm like, okay, Torrence, let me get this in focus for y'all. Let's go ahead and try to support our girl Theresa is Dead. If you all do not know, I love Theresa is Dead. I even did a tutorial last year for Alien Slut. You can check that out right here. It was dedicated to her. I just love the fact that she doesn't care, honey. She gonna put her opinion out there, and she uses profanity, which I absolutely love. But this collection here came with a card that lets us know, you know, little information about it. If you want to go ahead and know more about that, we can do that in the video. But today we just showing y'all it came with 1 palette and 3 pot eyeliners. Once again, I've never tried anything from this brand, so I'm going to be, you know, a first-time experienced person on all of this. And I'm trying to not drop this thing, but we're going to go ahead and open each box just to show y'all what's going on. This first one is an eyeliner called Entity. She looks like a little gray one. Nice little glass tube here. I want to go ahead and open that up and show y'all what she looks like. Okay, and it has a little cap on top of it, so I'm loving that. The fact that they have a protective cap over the pot eyeliner. Let's go ahead and make sure we get that off. Okay. And this is what she looks like. She honestly look a little dried out. I hope she not, baby, because we just got her. So this is what this gray eyeliner looks like. So yeah, she got that little slight cast over her. I hope that's not dried out, but baby, we gonna test her out to find out. Next up, we have the other color. What is this? This one is called Spectre. This is the blue one. Okay, and she looks vivid from the outside, honey. Okay, yeah, Spectre looks a lot better than that gray one did. This is what Spectre looks like. And she doesn't have that same cast as that gray one is, so I'm truly worried about that gray one, but this blue one here is absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to go ahead, put this cap back on this one. And that last one is the one I was truly most excited about, simply because y'all know green is my color. So if they were going to put out a green eyeliner, if nothing else, it might have been the one I would have got. But I believe if you bought all 3 eyeliners, you got a 10% discount. So I'm like, why not support Theresa and get the whole set? This green one is called Ectoplasm. Okay, and this one here, that's what she looks like. Once again, she don't look like that gray one, so it got me worried about that one. But this green, I don't have a color quite like this, I don't believe. I think the closest one I may have to that is Wallflower by Melt Cosmetics. So we got a gray eyeliner for sure, which is something we never had. And once again, just wanted to celebrate and help support my girl Theresa is Dead getting her first collab. The palette came wrapped like this, which leads me to believe that everything is going to be intact. Because honey, ain't nothing that breaks your heart quite like getting a shattered eyeshadow palette. This is what the container looks like. It says Lethal Cosmetics X Theresa is Dead. The palette is called Lethal is Dead. That's what the front looks like. This is the back. Nice and simple. Straight to the point. Gonna slide her out, and we want to be careful because honey, we cannot afford to drop anything. And this is what she looks like on the inside, honey. Okay, oh, I must say she almost had me worried, but that just looked like a little dust or whatever. We can knock that off later. This is what she looks like on the inside, and I must admit, she looks a lot more vivid and a lot more vibrant in person. Online, I was really worried about her being way too pale and pastel, because I'm like, Theresa is, you know, a fair-skinned woman, but I'm like, if I'm gonna buy it, I need colors that's gonna suit and sit on my skin. So I want to try to make sure I give you all one more view of this to see if you can see just how beautiful and richly pigmented those colors look in person compared to my complexion. So I'm not as worried about it as I was before, because I ain't gonna lie. When it was looking pastel, all I kept telling myself is, Torrence, we buying this just to support Theresa. We ain't necessarily got to like it, but seeing everything in person got me thinking I may really enjoy it. So if you all want to see a tutorial on this, I know on Instagram when it first launched, everybody was already asking me. Yes, honey, it finally came. This was the last package I was waiting for to do this haul. So of course, if you all want a tutorial on this, well, probably if you don't want it, I'm still going to do it just because I want to get the word out there for my girl Theresa for her restock. So this was the next box here. We're just going to go ahead and close her up. We ain't going to worry about putting everything back in place. We'll do that later and put this to the side. Next up, honey, what is this? Oh, this bag says she the one sticking up. This is, I'm going to call this my black owned bag because this is full of the lip bar items. Actually, let me turn that around. Actually, yeah, I ain't got to. That's my PL box, so I ain't worried about that. But this here is full of the lip bar items, and then I did throw this one palette in here. This is from Beauty Bakery. They're another black-owned brand. This is Proof is in the Pudding eyeshadow palette. I think I got this from Ulta, and I just wanted to get it just to support a black-owned brand, honey. I'm not even 100% sure that the color story grabbed my attention. It was just something that I figured if I did not like it and it was neutral, I could pass it along to someone. This is what she looks like. Oh, wait, I didn't even give you all a view of the outside. This is what she looks like on the outside, honey. Proof is in the pudding. Nice little cute decoration on it. But what got me is the fact that it looks like a beautiful warm neutral palette on the inside. Seems like something you could wear on the daily. And I'm like, if I don't like it, once again, it's something I could pass along. It looks like it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mattes and 4 shimmers. So, you know I love me a palette that the mattes outweigh the shimmers just because I'm someone who loves blending colors in my crease. But she looks like a really nice warm neutral palette. Just had to have her just to support a black owned brand. Let me put her back in here because, baby, I'm trying to get into this lip bar bag because y'all, if y'all don't know by now, I love the lip bar, honey. I love the lip bar. And we had to grab a couple things. First up, we have their new eyeshadow palette. They already came out with, I believe, 4 of these, if not 5 of them, and this is the newest one, so I had to grab it. This one here is called Smoker's Lounge, and this is probably their most cool toned one of them all, so I am like, oh yeah, baby, you can go ahead and pass that. I don't believe this one here is available in Target like the other 4 or 5 are. This one I think so far is a website exclusive, but I had to get it. Cool tones are in right now. The lip bar makes beautiful products. This is what she looks like. I'm going to open this up. Once again, it's called Smoker's Lounge. It's an eyeshadow quad. And we finally get a black from the lip bar. Look at that. Smoker's Lounge just tells me I'm going to be able to do a nice smoky eye with this. And I honestly been thinking about depotting all of my lip bar palettes and creating one large big palette. But I'm scared if I crack one of those shadows in the process, I'm going to be so hurt and so upset. So we ain't got the guts to go ahead and do it yet. But we just sitting back thinking like, Torrence, on a bored day, that's what you're going to do one time. Just one time for the one time. What else we got in this bag, honey? Let's pull it out. Let's see. Also have the Just a Tint. This is their new 3-in-1 tinted skin conditioner. I have mine here in the shade Caramel Delight. Right now, y'all already know the tinted moisturizer, the BB cream, all of that. Those are really big and in right now. And baby, they got stickers on both ends. Make sure you don't just get into this box. Okay, and inside here we have our product. It comes in a nice little squeeze tube. I haven't tried this yet, but the main reason I got it is because it has an SPF 11, because I already have foundations and things, and honestly, I don't need any more foundations, skin tints, tinted moisturizers, anything. But because it was from the lip bar, that was one reason to get it. SPF, another reason. And so far, I've never had a bad product from the brand. So we just wanted to try this. And I think they even came out with another face complexion product that I have in here as well. And once again, I was trying to tell y'all, honey, I was just buying up some stuff. This one here, yep, another one. This Skin Serum Foundation. This one has hyaluronic acid and Irish moss extract. Comes with a built-in brush. I bought this before in one color and it wasn't quite right. So now I have it here in the shade 303. I believe I either have it in 302 or 304 and I just didn't quite like the color. So I purchased it again. This is what this looks like. I really like this foundation because, like I said, it has a built-in brush. You just pop the top off. The brush is right there. All you have to do is press and click the bottom. It's sort of like the Touche clock. Where you click the bottom, it comes straight out the brush. You swipe, put it on, and you can use it like that. The thing is, the brush can come off and you can wash that and then you can put it back on, which makes this a fabulous product. It makes it a fabulous product. So I absolutely had to get it in the right shade just to make sure I can use it. Have this here. I want to show you what it looks like in the box, just in case you've never seen the lip bar. I do once again believe that they are sold in Target, but because, you know, I live very close to Detroit, Michigan, and right now I'm at my mother's home in Detroit, it was easy to stop by the lip bar store. I can't wait till they expand and get stores in other locations. This here is one of their natural lip glosses. This is in the shade Control Freak, which I believe is one of their newest shades. Had to have it. Although I'm not the biggest fan of orangey nudes, it's just something to add to my collection just because I collect the lip bar lip glosses. I think I collect those just as hard as I collect the fancy glosses. So the packaging on these is beautiful. I absolutely love this packaging, I'm telling you. That was one of the main reasons why I first started collecting them, because at first I started going after their bullet lipsticks, but once I saw the gloss container, I'm like, yeah, time to give up the bullet lipsticks, time to collect the glosses. Next up, we have another complexion product. This is the Quick Conceal, the self-setting and brightening concealer. I have mine in the shade Caramel for the 3 o'clock shade range. And before I open it up, let me show y'all what that box looks like. I'm not sure if this product is available in Target, but I know this is available in store and on their website. Once again, I just went in store, got shade match for anything that I wanted. Anything they didn't have, I just had them shipped to the house. And I am loving, if nothing else, that this has a small, I believe this, oh, I thought that was glass. This seems to be plastic, but you know what? It feels heavy enough and it feels sturdy enough that you would almost think that that was glass. So you know what? I ain't even mad at her. She feel and looks, but this is what that concealer looks like. And because I want something brightening, I love the fact that this is a little lighter than my complexion. Because, you know, even on those days where I'm trying to hurry up and get off the dough, honey, I still want some brightness underneath the eye. So I had to get this shade here. And we got, what else? I don't know where they sent this from. What is you? This look like a little free gift with purchase. Let's see what you is. Or something else supposed to go with it. Oh, this looked like an extra brush head for my foundation. Yes. Go ahead, honey. So that's what this is. If I wanted to go ahead and use my foundation as just a regular pump and squirt it out instead of using that brush, this looks like this comes with an extra applicator where it has a small hole on the tip, and I can just take that off and use my foundation traditionally as a regular pump. I'm someone who, because it has a brush built in right there, why not go ahead and get it? But on those days where you just want to travel with it, that's a nice, good idea. I think more foundations should start doing that. The last two things we have in here, I could not figure out for the life of me what shades I wanted, so I just went ahead and grabbed one of each just to see what it's like. We have our medium buildable coverage natural matte finish powder. This is called the Set the Tone powder. I have this in the shade Golden Girl. And then we have our Glow On highlighting blush. This is a super pigmented and illuminated finish blush. I have that in the shade Pinch Me. I'm going to show you what each compact looks like in the packaging. This is the setting powder here. They have basically the same component. It's just different products on the inside. This here is the blush. And what I'm noticing now is it looks like they shrunk this compact a little bit, because I know with their duos, it's a lot heavier because they have another compact underneath. But I guess for the singles, they have the single layer. So it's not as bulky as it is with the other ones. I think a lot of people will like a lot more because people like things compact and taking up as little space as possible in their areas. So this here is the Golden Girl Set the Tone face powder. And I got this shade because I wanted something that I know for sure would be nice underneath the eyes. So I have this one here. And for the blush, once again, this is in the shade Pinch Me. I wanted something that, because I know it was going to be an illuminating blush, something that I could possibly put on the cheeks as a highlighter, but also something I could use as a blush topper. I do believe they have a shade lighter and a shade darker than this, but I wanted to make sure I grabbed something that was right in the middle. And that's what this shade here does for me. Gonna put these back, and then we can grab another box, but I don't want to make no mess, so I'll be right back. Alright, we put that bag to the side for the lip bar, and it still looks like we got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 7 more boxes in here, so let's keep on going. This next box, she feel rather heavy here. Let's see what's in this one. Okay, this is my Lit Cosmetics, and it looks like Midas Cosmetics box. I knew right here, it looked, ooh, baby, I am spilling and dropping stuff. This is a box full of glitters. This was those handwritten cards and things that they put inside of their containers. If you know me, you know anytime I purchase from a brand, if I get a handwritten note or card from the owner or one of the employees, I keep them, and I've always done that my entire life. So the fact that this came with 2 from Lit Cosmetics, meaning 1, y'all going on the list, and 2, y'all probably got somebody who's going to be a fan for life as long as y'all don't do nothing crazy in these streets. So let me go ahead and put those to the side to make sure I do not lose them. And I'm just now realizing that not only is there Lit Cosmetics and Midas Cosmetics, there's also some NYX quads in here, because this is all like my glitter and pigment. For some reason, during the month of Pride, I guess because I wasn't wearing makeup, everything glittery and sparkly looked pretty to me, and I bought more glitter in the past month than I probably have during any other time frame in my life. But I'm gonna go ahead and get to showing y'all these. This is 3 quads. They're called Glitter Goals by NYX Cosmetics, and I want to show y'all what these looks like. This first one here is called, do you all have a name? Galactica. It's a quad here. This is much more of a neutral one. You can see that's what those shades look like. Actually, let me go ahead and break this open so y'all can see what the shades look like for real on the inside. I know I got these at Ulta, and they couldn't have been more than a few dollars, but because I was going back and forth between buying expensive glitters and cheap glitters, I'm like, you know what, Torrence, you got to go ahead and get these. My main concern was them breaking during travel, but they all came intact, which surprised me and made me want them even more. Once again, this one here is Galactica. It is a much more neutral toned quad. And do I need glitter colors like this? Of course not. But I had to have all 3 just because I was binging on glitters. This next one here, I honestly didn't know if I wanted, but I got it simply for the one color at the very end. Y'all know greens is my favorite, and because this quad had 1 green in it, I had to buy the whole thing. This one here is called Glacier, and it's much more of a blue tone. Let me get it open. I'm trying my hardest to open everything and not drop nothing, because, honey, eyeshadow palettes may be able to take a fall, but glitters, especially pressed glitters, will go flying. And I'm not trying to have a mess back here. This is the Glacier Quad. And look at her. That white one and that green one are probably going to be 2 of my favorites. Cannot wait to get into them. This third and last one was a much more, I'm going to just say vibrant quad. It's much more of a pinky purple. And I got it just to, you know, say that I had the whole collection, because it was only 3 of them. They was in a drugstore from NYX. So I'm like, why not? This one is called Love on Top. So, you know, many people consider pink to be a romantic color, so I guess I can understand why they did that. And baby, I don't know if it's my nails. I don't know if it's because I'm nervous, but getting these open, this ain't no easy trick, honey. Baby, that's going to be one downside for that. Getting these open is a struggle. And look at her. She's much more of a pinky purple one. That one looks much more silver than white on in person. I'm not sure how it's reflecting on camera. There you go. You can see it looks a little more silver there. But this is the Love on Top quad. And that one pop of purple is what really makes her stand out. But I got all 3 just to make sure I said that I have them. And I've tried none of them because you saw me just open them. but I wanted to make sure I had something for those. For Lit Cosmetics, baby, they went all out. I know last month was Pride Month, and they came out with a Pride bundle of glitters, and I had to have them. I just had to have them. And what made it even better is they came out with what's called a stack, where you have the colors literally intertwined on each other, where this is just one big piece, because their glitter quads, their glitter pieces can take the cap off and twist them into the bottom, so you can take every single glitter you have from the brand and stack them as one big piece. But I kept telling myself, like, I really wish you could put them all in individual containers. I didn't want them all in a stack, but for the price, I couldn't pass them up. But to know when they shipped them, they came with the additional cap so I can leave them all as individuals. Had to have them. Had to have them. I believe their glitters range for about $18 a piece, but this this set of 6 came at $50, so I had to have them. It came with a red, orange, and yellow set. The red one is Kiss, the orange is Carrot Head, this yellow is Liberace, and this is what these 3 look like. Actually, let me go ahead and take that out the bag for you to help reduce the glare. This is what these 3 look like here. And because they came with the extra caps for them, I'll be able to go ahead and make sure I stack them individually. So I can't wait to do that. But I wanted to show you all what these look like in the packaging, just so that, you all can see if you order them what to expect. But as soon as we turn this camera off, I'm separating each individual one. The last 3 were the green, purple, and blue set. And the green is called Hulk. The purple is Disco Diva. The blue is Loverboy. And just those dark jewel tones easily catch my eye way more than that red, orange, and yellow do. I love jewel tones, and the fact that this has greens, my favorite jewel tone color besides green is purple. So I'm going to be separating these as soon as I turn the camera off. They have the additional tops. I keep getting ready to say caps. So that set there. Other things that I ordered was some more individuals. I was basically on a shopping spree. What they sent for free was which one? I have to find her. I can't find the free one. She might still be in the box, but let me show you what other colors I purchased. I purchased 4 other colors simply because they were having a sale. This first one here is the one I paid full price for. This one is called Magic Dragon. It's a dual chrome shade. I believe it shifts from like green to blue or green to purple. Had to have it. My main thing going in there was for a green glitter, and I kept telling myself I did not care. I was going to find the most prettiest green that I could find and get that one. This next one, I wanted something neutral, and this one here is called Oprah. I had to have her. This one is also in a size 4. I believe they come with their glitters in 4 different sizes. 1 being the smallest, 4 being the largest and chunkiest of them all. And so I had to get the Oprah in the largest size 4 just because I wanted something really bold, really sparkly if I was going to go neutral. The last 2 that I have here in this particular bag is one that was half off, and I wasn't sure exactly what size that I wanted. I believe although they come in a range of sizes between 1 and 4, I only saw sizes 2 through 4 available at the time. 2 being the smallest available and 4 being the largest. I decided to get this shade here. It's called Beach Baby. And these are both the exact same color. They're just different sizes. Size 2 is on the top, which is much smaller. Size 4 is on the bottom, which is the largest of them all. And you can look at the way that they catch the light. That size 4, which is larger, looks a little deeper in color simply because of how much more light he can capture. And so I'm really debating on going back and getting size 3, which is in the middle because he's still half off. And it'll just give me a chance to be able to see all of their colors, well, just see one color in all of their sizes, and decide in the future from now on if I order, do I want to go with size 2, 3, or 4. But because I like my glitters big and bold, more than likely size 4 is what I'm going to go after. They also sent over, what else do we have? We have 2 more glitters here. This one here was the one that they sent free. This one is called Pina Colada. I believe this came with all orders for that month. And so I absolutely had to have this. She looks like a nice neutral in different sizes. I believe this is called their glitter mix, where there's different size glitters in there. So I believe you're getting the best of both worlds. You're getting small pieces and larger pieces. And with this one being not something that I have in my collection, I definitely was appreciative of it. I also received this one free because I placed multiple orders, so different orders came with different free ones. This one here is called Mai Tai. Mai Tai is also a glitter mix, and it looks much warmer. It looks like it's a nice warm golden shade. It has some small reflex that appear to come off green. And so I had to take this because I'm like, you know what? If you're going to send me a free one, baby, I'm going to go ahead and get it from you. But what I did not expect is with another order, they sent me another free Mai Tai. And you know what? I'm going to give this to one of you all because it came with their daily wear glitter base. It came in this little kit here. The thing is, I already have a glitter base at home in a single bottle. And because I already have this Mai Tai glitter right here, there's no need for me to hoard both of them. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the giveaway and one of you can have it. You see, this comes in a set. And I don't want to open this just because I don't want to, you know, have the box looking raggedy before I give it to someone. And I don't need two glitters because nobody ever runs through them. So one of you will end up with that. And what else do we have in here? Oh, also from Lit Cosmetics, the main reason why I went on the website was for this big boy here. I know a lot of people talk down on pressed glitters, but as someone who absolutely loves glitters, I don't care what form they come in, loose or pressed. This is what the palette looks like in the box. It's called Night Moves. Get him out of the sleeve. And when I first saw it, I knew I wanted it, but it sold out. But when I saw it again, it was half off. And I'm like, honey, if I wanted her at full price, I know for sure I want her at half price. So let me get her down and show y'all what she look like. Tell me she ain't, oh, let me move this. Tell me she not bold and beautiful. Look at those colors. Look at those glitters, honey. I had to have this. I had to have this. There was no doubt about it, honey. I don't care what the rest of the world thinks of pressed glitters. I personally think it's a little easier to have them all in one place than having to open the caps of several different ones. But I can understand the mess that they can make because, baby, drop one of these if you want to. And see if your heart don't drop with it when you see that mess that it's going to make and how hard it is to press them back in place. But I got her. I'm happy for her and I cannot wait to use them, especially those green shades. Honey, I am on a mission to get this used as soon as possible, but I had to show her off to y'all. What else we got in here? Oh, Midas Cosmetics, baby. Let me tell you something. See, I don't know what was just going on with my camera, but honey, I'm glad I caught it. I was in the middle of talking about the Midas Cosmetics collection that I have. Back to Neon MUA. He came out with a collab with Midas Cosmetics doing 4 face palettes. I'm the type of person who either absolutely loves or hates a face palette. There's usually no in between. The problem is, palette number 2, which was the Noon palette, looked like he might be a little too light. Palette number 3, which was Dusk, looked a little too dark. So I kept telling myself, I don't know if we want to spend that kind of money. So you know what? We're going to hold off and check out reviews. Even after reviews, I kept telling myself, you look like you in the middle, but do you know if you want to spend that kind of money getting 2 completely different face palettes when the whole point is to find everything in one? I said, you know what, Torrence? We're going to bite the bullet and we're going to buy both. Got my email telling me everything was good, but before it shipped, I got a refund for the Dusk palette, and I'm sitting there pissed because I'm like, you know what? If the Dusk palette is the one that's my complexion and he sold out, you're going to be hurt, especially considering the fact that it didn't hit the allure list. So I'm like, you know what? Just stay calm, just wait on it. And I'm honestly glad because I truly believe the Noon palette is what's going to suit me. So the idea of knowing that not only was I able to find something that suits me, but to know that with most brands, the darkest shade is usually my shade. If not, maybe one shade darker. But to know that y'all came out with face palettes and there were more shades darker than my complexion than lighter, already let it be known. Y'all out here trying to set trends. Y'all out here doing what's right. And I'm loving it. So I'm glad that even though I would have taken both, I'm glad I did get my money back because Noon is what suits me. This here is shade 204. This is the Noon palette. And once again, I want to say congratulations to Neon MUA and to Dominique Cosmetics for doing something that is inclusive and beautiful. This here is what the palette looks like on the inside. And I truly believe all 4 shades will suit my skin tone and be beautiful. Looking at this now, all I can think about is the fact that that dusk palette may have been way too dark for me. This is just the shades that I need to get a natural look on my complexion. That next palette would have been nice to add, but it probably would have really come off as a little too dark for me. But I'm telling you, I'm glad I have this one. If for any reason I can get my friend to sell me her dusk palette, I'm still going to try to get it, but I don't think she's going to let me have it. Next up from Midas, I have a couple of glitters, pigments, and brushes. I did not want to go in and buy everything because I wasn't sure how much I would like their brushes. The first one I have is the blush brush. It looks like the number 1129. Just a big, fat, nice, pointed tip brush. I got this not necessarily for blush because I don't use this shape. What I wanted this for was for baking powder underneath the eyes. She looked like she is just nice and big and just to be able to go right in there, dust, set things off. So that's why I got her. And the fact that it came with this little netted holder here to make sure I keep my brushes lined up. Look just like a brush guard. I'm like, come on through with that. This one here is the highlight brush, the number 1128. Wanted to make sure I got this. And the bristles look a little, longer and flimsier than what I would personally go for. I usually like something that's a little more structured and a little stronger. But you know what? That may go ahead and give me a softer blend. And let me go ahead and give you all a close-up of that there. Actually going to go back and give you a close-up of the other brush. And so I wanted to go ahead and grab this just to see what she looks like. More than likely I would just take this, dust this right across the cheeks. She looks, like I said, a little bigger and a little flimsier than what I would go for. But then again, you never learn until you test out new things. And let me go ahead and pull out this brush here again and show you all just how big and dense and beautiful this one is. Get a look at her. Next up, I have what I call rose gold and gold flakes here. I believe that may even be the name of them. I don't know what made me get them, but I saw an eyeshadow tutorial where the gold that she put on her eye looked so thick and so chunky and so beautiful that to me it didn't look quite like glitters. And all I kept saying is, I wonder if that was gold leaf. And I never found out, but I kept saying, you know what, one day I may recreate that look. And so I grabbed 2 of their gold leaf flakes here. I didn't think that these jars would be as big as they are, so I honestly could have got away with 1, but I did get 2. This one here is what the gold one looks like. I'm going to go ahead and make sure you all can see that. And this jar is rather large. Once again, I really thought it was going to be much smaller, so I did purchase 2. I got 2 in gold, and I have 2 here in rose gold, just because I didn't know which one would, flatter my skin tone a little bit more. Usually gold items do because I have a yellow undertone, but sometimes that just soft romantic look that the pink hue can bring can really do it. And this here is what the rose gold looks like. Honestly, I cannot wait to try them both just to see which one is going to be prettier. And I want to show you what they look like side by side, just so you can get it. The one on your left should be the rose gold, and the one on the right should just be the yellow gold. And the last 2 items in this particular bag should be glitters. And I got them because they have butterfly shapes in the glitters. I know that they make them like this, but I had never actually seen them available for purchase. Every time I've gone to any other website that had them, they were always sold out. So I have the two shades here. This first one is called Roxio. The next one is called Flutterfire. And truth be told, holding them side by side, you would almost not even recognize that they were two different colors. I guess Roxio is a little more vibrant and a little more coral, and Flutterfire is a little less vibrant and a little more pink. But I want to see if you all can look at these two. On your left should be Flutterfire. On the right should be Roxio, and because these are glitters that have butterflies in them, I really don't want to open this cap right now while I'm not in a good position. But I did get these two as well, and this was all on one order. On the next order, I did go in and get some other pigments and glitters, just because, once again, I've just been on a binge for those. I have 4 different packs here, and I'm not sure what all of them were part of. I know this first 6 pack here, I believe this was part of their neon collection. All of the Midas pigments and glitters do have the Midas logo on top of the containers here, just like with the gold flakes. The thing is, on the bottom is where you have the names of them. This was a 6 pack. I believe this was part of their neon collection. It has the shades Popsicle, Starship, It's Electric, Confetti, Flash Mob, and Glow Getter. And as you can see, those are just some really bold, vibrant shades. One of those is even in the shape of stars. So I'm like, oh yeah, got to go ahead and get those. I'm not 100% sure that these are even eye safe, but I have them, and you know I'm a daring person with my makeup, so more than likely I'm going to put them on my eye. I believe this one is called like their Starship or their Galaxy, or I believe even like their Cosmos collection. This is another 6 pack set. It contains Ether, Extraterrestrial, The Void, Intergalactic, Celestial, and I believe that's Galaxias. A group of dark jewel tone colors. Most of these have nice round shapes to them, but these once again are some darker jewel tone colors. I really wish I could pull these out of this container, but I'm telling you, you can see some of that glitter already seeping out. So if you want a particular dedicated video to just these, just let me know. And for these last 2 packs, these are both 5 packs. I believe one of them, both of them were part of the Mary Jane collection. No, this one says Aunt Mary's collection. The other one is called Mama Jane. This one is a 5 pack that looks like it has much more vibrant jewel tones to them. This is a much more pinky purple set. In the Aunt Mary's collection, we have Pink Kush, Sour OG, Bubba Kush, Willie's Wonder, and Purple Urkel. So that's this pinky set here. This is a 5-piece from Aunt Mary's collection. This next 5-piece set is called Mama Jane collection. You have Purple Berry, Martian Candy, Northern Lights, Cali Gold, and Chronic. And this one is a much more green with some purple undertones collection. And the chunks in this one look way bigger, like way bigger. This might be the chunkiest glitter that I own in my collection looking at these sets. So if you all want, you know, closer views or anything of these, just go ahead and let me know. Or if any particular shades you want to see in the tutorial, just go ahead and leave that comment below. But this here is the box full of pigments and glitters and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead, once again, put all of this back, and we'll be back with the next box. Alrighty, you guys. We done put that last box to the side, so let's go ahead and pull this one out. This one is full of, it looks like Sigma items in this box. Oh, we got more than just Sigma, but that's most of the stuff in here. So let me go ahead and put her down, and let's see what all we got. First up, let's move all these little extra pieces out to the way. This is just little cards and stuff like that. We don't need to see that. But 2 things that they did send me free with purchases is, let's see, I got 2 of the same one. 2 miniature E45 tapered blending brushes. I'm not sure. More than likely, I probably do have this in a full size. But we're going to go ahead and show y'all what she looked like. When I first started freelancing, I remember I only had sets of Sigma brushes that were in this little miniature size. So I'm actually comfortable with using them, even though they're not my preferred choice. And I really like the fact that this little E45 comes to a tapered point, because as someone with hooded eyes, I generally prefer brushes that come to a point than rounded ones. And I'm going to double check my collection to see if I have this in full size, but to know that I have two minis, meaning two different kits can be made for my freelance when I go back. So we have those. Next up, we also have here, since we're already on brushes, let's keep that going. I bought the Pride set this year. I usually buy all the Pride brushes every year that they do a set. This one here is called the Beautiful. So we have the Beautiful Pride brush set. It contains 3 rainbow brushes and a rainbow beauty bag. I'm not the biggest fan of bags that come in sets or anything like that, but I always love the brushes. And before we open it up, let me go ahead and show you what this box looks like here. I think this set is still available. I'm not 100% sure, but I know last year the flathead kabuki brush, I believe what was it? The F80, she sold out the day she was launched. You could not find her. If you waited on that one, you just did not get it. This is what the bag looks like. It's nice and small and compact, so I can understand why some people will want to carry it. Once again, I like really big bags, and usually cosmetic bags don't do anything for me. But we have them here, and it comes with 3 different individual brushes, the E54, the E38, as well as the E31. And just because we are already here, let's go ahead and crack these open and see what they're looking like. I usually don't use these brushes just because I find them for collector purposes. I can, you know, always go ahead and buy them in their normal packaging. This one here is the E38, the diffused crease, and I know I have this in its full-time packaging, so there will be no need to open and use this one. But she is a pretty little brush. This next brush here is an even smaller blending brush. This one here is called the E31, the domed pencil brush. Once again, I'm not even sure if I have this one, but that chrome pattern is absolutely beautiful. It looks like the prettiest oil spill. So if I don't have this brush in its normal packaging, I'm definitely going to get it just so I don't have to use this one. And this last one, I know I have this. This is the E54 Medium Sweeper. I know I have this in full size and travel size, so I don't have to worry about using this one. But this is the last brush that came in this set here. Once again, as someone who just loves Sigma brushes, as someone who supports Pride Month, I get their Pride collections every single year, and this will be able to add to that. Go ahead, put that to the side. Next up from Sigma, what do we have here? We have a couple of brushes going on. First up, let's see what we got. Some big powder brushes. I bought 2 of the same one just because I really believe I'm going to love this powder brush, and while it was still in stock, I wanted to go ahead and get a backup of it. This is the Sigma F25. This is a taper brush. Actually, let me show you what it looks like in the packaging. Sigma brushes in their full-time packaging seem to come in this triangular pink package that has 2 different sides where you can view the product. One on the back that lets you see, you know, the information about it, how to take care of it, the details of it. And this is another brush that looks like that Midas brush where it just comes to a really large point, and I really feel as if I can use this brush for baking and dusting off baking powder. This is just, it's really large, it's really big, and I feel as if it'll fit right there underneath the eye for me. So I had to have it, and I figured if I genuinely love it, like I do with most brushes, I have to have a backup of it, because if for any reason I lose it or damage it, I don't want to be without it. So we have those. And this here is just a backup of a brush that I bought. I already have this brush and know I like it. This is the Sigma L06. It's a precise line brush, and normally I wouldn't open up my backup brushes just because there's no need. And this is what this brush looks like inside the packaging. Just 2 different ways where you can see it. It honestly looks like an extremely small eyeliner brush, and that's what many people do use it for. But once I saw someone do a precise liquid lipstick with this, I had to have it. And you can see she's just the tiniest little brush, but those tiny little hairs on the end is what helps you create a very precise and thin line wherever you need and want it. You may not even be able to see how small it is, but it's just for those of us who like to go the extra mile with their makeup and like extreme precision. Could you do this with a larger brush, like, I forgot what brush it is I use for Morphe all the time to cut my crease? Possibly, but sometimes you just want something dedicated for the job that's going to do just that and nothing else, and that's what that's for. This one here, I think I bought simply because he was on sale. This is the Sigma F60 brush. It's just a flat foundation brush. This one came in a pack simply because it was a clearance brush. Do I need this? No. But was she on sale? Yes, so that's why I got it. I'm not even the biggest fan of using flat foundation brushes. I know when you're doing someone else's makeup, these are absolutely amazing because they help you either put on a very thin amount of product or a very heavy amount, depending on which one you're going for. So many times using these on other people, make sure that I don't put too much product down. But I got her just simply because she was on sale. Didn't have it before. Next up, they came with a free sample of their brush soap. I usually just keep these by the kitchen sink, so whenever I'm washing my brushes, I can get it. This here is the Sigma lip gloss, and I've never tried any of their lip glosses, so I decided to just go ahead, get one just to see what it's like. This one is in the shade Brilliance, and I wanted to make sure I got something nice and nude, just in case if I liked it, I can wear it every day. I didn't want to go for any bold, out of, off the charts colors, like something bright and purple or anything. And this just looks like a nice nude gloss that I can use to top anything off with. It looks like a nice champagne color with some gold reflex. So this here is going to be absolutely beautiful. I usually just wear darker colors like that without anything, but because this is so light, more than likely she is going to go over a lip liner or a lipstick. What else we got? Because I know that ain't all from Sigma. It can't be that all. Also, we have the Ambiance Eyeshadow Palette. Although I prefer colorful shadows, I had to go ahead and get this just because she looked so beautiful. This is what the box looks like. And if nothing else, that box made me want to go ahead and spend a few coins. I'm like, she just looks nice and natural, and this looks like something that I could probably wear any and every day of the week. And based upon the reviews that I've seen online, more than likely that's going to be the case. Palette looks just like the box, so we already feeling that. Already knew I was going to like that. But on the inside, you get a bunch of neutral, beautiful shades that you can actually wear. I truly believe with this palette, this is going to work for many different complexions. Warm neutrals, although they're probably not as big as cool neutrals are now, warm neutral palettes will always have a place in the makeup world because they suit so many different people. And what makes Sigma eye palettes even better to me is that they always come with a dual-ended brush, and the brushes are just as good as their single brushes. I personally don't prefer dual-ended brushes because I like them to dry on one side, but this one contains the E38 and the E54, and I was just showing y'all how I have those brushes in the individual Pride collection, but I promise you, this is going to be just as good quality as those. You're going to have one end, which is the E38, transition, crease, get that going. This side here, which is the E54, pack it on the lid. Use it to sweep something underneath the brow. Put a little bit right there in the inner corner. You have a whole look. You don't need any other brushes. Unless you like me and you like to go into details, you'll have it. But these warm neutrals here, honey, she look beautiful. I am someone who generally prefers colors, but I like the fact that this lets me go warm or cool tone, and it has a variety of shimmers. I cannot stand when a palette gives you 6 shades of gold and they all look alike. This one here, I want to try to pull this back to cover that mirror. This one here, she just bringing it to you. It just don't seem like no matter what kind of gold you like, you gonna get it here. You want a really bold yellow tone gold? We got it. You want a more pink tone gold? We got it. You want something straight up in the neutral middle zone right there? We got it right here. The only thing this does not have is a matte black, but you know what? Sometimes you don't always need that matte black, although I know I'll be looking at people like, who don't need a matte black? I've been trying to get myself to understand everybody doesn't want that, and this makes it much more friendly for people who are afraid of using matte blacks, because trust me, I got friends that don't even touch it because they like, if I blend it in the wrong spot, I got to start all over. Me personally, I'm going to keep on going. put this to the side because I don't want to drop this right here. What else we got from Sigma? Oh, two other eyeshadow palettes. They came out with some minis, and I was sitting back debating on whether I wanted to get them or not because I'm the completionist. The reason I got that Ambiance palette is because I believe that's a 14 pan palette or a 16 pan. I done purchased all of them since then, and I don't see me stopping now. And I kept telling myself, Torrence, if you call yourself trying to be sneaky and start collecting the 9 pans and you grab one, you're going to have to get them all. But you know what? I've been good, and I've been sticking to only getting the ones that I wanted. And I have these two here. This is the Ivy and the Ritzy. They come in boxes like this where you do get a sneak peek of what the colors look like. So you can see this is the Ivy palette. It has a much more green tone to it. And this one here is the Ritzy palette. It's sort of like the Ambiance palette that I just showed you all, but to me this is much more neutral. And I've come to find that instead of straight up warm tones or straight up cool tones, neutrals seem to get it for me because it satisfies both sides. Ivy one, you all knew I had to have it. There was just no doubt about it. Greens are my favorites. So if anything, this was the one I was going to get. I personally wish they would have given us more than just one matte green. But it seemed like anytime green is on the market, they always play us, give us one matte, one shimmery, and make the rest of them neutrals. And my dumb self fall for it every single time. But just because I had to have green by Sigma, I had to get it. So this is what she looks like. And even though this already got greens and neutrals, I had to get the other palette. One just wasn't going to satisfy me, even though she should have. So I also have this Ritzy one. And baby, I think if they really would have just put a nice little matte black in here, I would have went even crazier, but they went close enough and gave us what I consider a really darkened brown. So I'm satisfied with that. She ain't got to be completely black, but she good enough for me. To me, you got your pale shades, you got your transition shades, you got your crease shades, and I consider this straight neutral. It's not quite warm, it's not quite cool. I know many people may consider this a warm tone color story, but the fact that I got a shade bright enough to be a brow bone highlight right here and a shade dark enough to be considered a liner, she good with me. Next up in this same box, honey, we still on Sigma. Had to grab a few other face palettes. Like I've been telling y'all, I've been on a face palette kick, and I'm like, all right, Torrence, you're not sure exactly which individual items you can get from the brand, and when I checked, I really wasn't feeling none of the individuals, so I'm like, if you grab yourself a palette, you won't have to worry about it. First up, we have the Cor de Rosa palette. Do I need more blush? No. Did I love the Cor de Rosa eyeshadow palette? Yes, and when Sigma retweeted me on their Twitter, you talk about somebody who was excited that day. So when this palette came out later on, I kept telling myself I was going to get it, and I finally did. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't want to pay full price, so I was just sitting back hounding it, waiting on it to go on sale. So when it went on sale, I finally went ahead and took the dive on it. And you know what? Eyes regret nothing. Eyes regret nothing. It comes with a huge mirror, comes with 6 pans, and it also comes with the blush in Cor de Rosa. And because, wait, let me turn that down a little bit so I don't blind y'all. That bottom, let me move this. That bottom middle shade, I believe, is the shade known as Cor de Rosa. And so because I have that in a palette somewhere else at home, I'm going to be giving that away. And I'm going to just be keeping this one here. Actually, let me flip this back because that was a terrible view of this palette for y'all. This is what these colors look like here. Just a nice coral blush palette. It's not as much variation as I would have hoped for, but I believe the lighter your complexion is, the better this is going to look. But there are some shades in here that will look absolutely stunning on darker women of color. Next up, we have the Sigma Glow Kiss highlighting palette. I honestly thought they were going to call this Ambiance as well, but this is called the Glow Kiss. Has the same packaging as the eyeshadow palette, and I believe this was an entire collection that all launched at the same time. And because, according to my knowledge, I only have one Sigma eyeshadow, only one highlighter from Sigma. It came in the same palette with that Cor de Rosa blush duo. And to me, It was a cute color, but it wasn't quite as warm as what I was hoping for my complexion. And so I'm going to be giving that to someone else since I already have the blush in this palette. And I think this palette here will have something much more suited for my skin tone. I honestly don't need another highlighter palette, but as someone who uses their makeup for freelance purposes, if I can't find anything specifically in here for me, I know I can use it on other people. And I'm just looking at it like, oh yeah, I really think I'm going to find something in here for me. And look at these 6 different shades. Tell me Sigma was not looking out for people across the board, honey. I honestly wish they could have done this in 2 different palettes, like an extremely fair one and an extremely deep one, or like a cool one and a warm one, just to make sure anyone could use all 6 shades. But I'm telling you, she's beautiful, and I think that bottom middle color is going to be the color that's going to do it for me. But the fact that these palettes are 6 pans, they come with a mirror, even though I usually don't use the mirror in palettes, it lets me know that I have that option. So I can't wait to get into this, and more than likely, whenever I use the Ambiance palette, I'm probably going to use that gloss in this palette here just to do one big tutorial. So if you all want to see that, just go ahead and let me know. I'm going to put this back in its box and see what else we have in there, because I know it's some other items in this box here. Let's see. Oh, yep, it is some more here. First up, let's see what we got. Oh, Dominique Cosmetics. This is the... what is this palette called? I don't remember. I think it's like Boss Babe, or I know it's not called Born to Make History, because that's what I'm seeing right here. But this was the small 6-pan palette that she came out with, and as soon as it dropped and I seen it, I believe it sold out, and I could never get a hold of it. And I was so hurt because I had every palette from Dominique Cosmetics, and this was the only one I could not find. I believe I found it on Beauty Bay, so I did have to wait for it to come from Europe, but I'm looking for a name on it and I still can't find it. But let me tell you, this little plastic packaging is easily the prettiest one of all of her packaging. Look at that. The same artwork that is on the boxes can be found on the inside of here. This is plastic, but it actually feels rather luxe. The only thing that I did have to do is repress one shade. It's sort of like a Colourpop Super Shock shadow, and you'll be able to look and tell exactly which one it was. But to me, this color story is very beautiful. 6 different shades. I believe you do get 3 mattes, and it was this bottom shade here, Empire. It sort of has like a pink base with some gold reflex to it. She's really pretty. And although I've never used her, I plan on using her just because, once again, I have all of the Dominique Cosmetics shadows. And this was just the very last one that I got. It was also the hardest to get. So even if the formula is not the best, more than likely she'll just be my favorite just because she was the most difficult to get a hold of. Everything else in this box is actually from Lunar Beauty, and I can't wait to show y'all this one because, baby. Alright, right now what's left in here is 1, things that I never thought I was going to get, but 2, things that I'm happy to get. And this is from Lunar Beauty. This is the Life's a Drag Facelift Bundle. Now, when the Life's a Drag palette first came out from Lunar Beauty, I skipped it. Did I think it was cute? Yes. But what upset me was the neutral side had me good. It had a matte white, a matte white and a matte black. So I'm like, okay, I can lighten and deepen any color I get. The problem is that colorful side didn't have a matte green, and I'm like, I don't know whose rainbow palette you talking about, but you can't come to me with rainbow colors and don't have green, which is my favorite. So I skipped it. They ended up discontinuing it and reformulating it and extending the size of the palette to have, I believe, 3, 6, 7 more shades, 3 more neutrals, 1 colorful neutral, and 3 more mattes. And this time they added greens, and so I got it this time. The box itself looks rather plain. Let me show you that here. But the palette, he went ahead and added a little flair to it because he got himself wearing a neutral look and a colorful look. And if you all didn't know, that is Manny MUA on the package. He also has a YouTube channel here, and he is the owner and founder of Lunar Beauty. I don't have all of their palettes, but the ones that I do have so far, I've absolutely loved and never been disappointed by. And let's go ahead and open her up and see what she looks like. It does have a mirror here, but you all know, once again, I am not the biggest fan of mirrors in palettes simply because they just don't do it for me. This is what she looks like on the inside. Now, baby, that's what I'm talking about when I have a full neutral palette and a full rainbow palette on the other side. Y'all gave me my greens, and now I'm satisfied. Because before then, I didn't care nothing about this palette. Like I said, it had came out, sold out, been discontinued, and I kept it moving because without a green, you're not going to get me. You're not going to get my money, honey. Not on no rainbow palette. Now, if you're going to give me just, you know, a monochromatic palette that's not green, I got you, but green got to be part of the rainbow for me. And because this was the Life's a Drag bundle, it came with some other things. And honestly, it gave me a chance to try out, well, I'm going to be able to try out other products from the brand. We also get with that the Lunar Beauty sponge. And as someone who's been collecting sponges for many years, this is going to be something new that I can test out. I believe sponges are new to the Lunar Beauty brand because beforehand I had never seen them. But it's a nice little new color. This is what the box looks like. I didn't open it and didn't even show y'all. Nice basic little box. The sponge does have the LB logo embossed on it. So it comes to a nice teardrop shape, just like most sponges. But on the back, I want you to see that slope where it is cut. So you can go ahead and I guess put baking powder right there on that side. Go ahead, you know, blend things out on the smooth side, and on that flat side, go in, put your baking powder on, and you'll be good to go. So never tried any Lunar Beauty sponges, and I ain't gonna lie to y'all, more than likely I probably would have never purchased this individually, but because it came in a kit, it'll give me a chance to try it out and see if it's actually worth it. Another thing, I'm not gonna lie, I probably never would have just actually purchased, but because they came in the bundle, we're gonna be happy that we have them, is a pair of lashes. And although I absolutely love lashes on other people, on myself, I usually just figure, what's the point of going through all of that? First off, let's give it to him. His packaging is absolutely beautiful. That's the one thing Lunar Beauty will do. They are not playing about their packaging. It's always on point. Always. This folds out like this and shows you the lashes that are inside. I'm not sure what style these are. Let me see. Do they have it written on here? Not even seeing the name written on here, but this was a free pair of lashes, so I had to get them. Honestly, they're a little long for my personal taste, but with a collection called Life's a Drag, of course, they're going to have to be big and bold, but this came in the case too, and if I like them, I may purchase again. I'm not going to say I will, because for me, I like to get lashes as cheap as possible, especially synthetic lashes. Something I probably would have purchased eventually is the lip gloss. You all know I absolutely love lip gloss. This is the lip gloss in the shade Dreamy. And one thing we got to give Manny MUA, like I said, packaging is always on point. Like, I'm not sure if the reflect on this is going to show up. Doesn't look like it's quite showing how reflective it is in person and the dimensions on this box. But you know what? Once you open it and see that little moon there, it goes to show you just how much time and energy they put into the tiny details of this brand. It lets you know Manny MUA might play with a lot of things, but his business is not one of them. And then let's get into this component. The packaging on this gloss, honey, is top tier. Top tier. Do you see that little crystal on the top? Do you see that ombre that goes from straight white to letting you see the color of the gloss on the bottom? Like, if nothing else, let's say this was the absolute worst formula I ever tried, and I still haven't tried it, the packaging alone makes you still want to go ahead and keep it and put this as a display piece. Because baby, if I had a makeup brand, I would be jealous that my packaging ain't even as cute as this, because this is absolutely stunning. This is stunning. And that color looks nice and new, so I'm quite sure I'm going to be wearing that over a lip liner or something. But what got to me, honey, the Moon Prism Blush Palette. I have the Eyeshadow Palette, and when this first dropped, it kept being sold out, and I could not get a hold of it, honey. There was just no way to get it, and like I told y'all, Manny don't play with his packaging. So this here is already pretty. Just this box is pretty. But once you open this palette up, and you see that raised embossing on it, and you realize it's sort of like the palette had one big moon here. The blush palette has several. It's like, come on, you already had our hearts. Now you're going to come back and go even extra, go even more over the top. Just go ahead and take our money, Manny. Just take our money. If nothing else, he knows how to do his packaging. But when you look at the colors, it's like, you know what? It's much more subtle than what I would personally go for in real life. But when you think about the fact that people are really going into much more neutral, much more natural tones, and they want things where they can truly wear all 6 shades. They don't want a palette where it's like 5 soft neutral shades and 1 bold, shocking one that they won't wear. This is something where I personally feel as if on my complexion, I can wear all 6 shades. Now, although I'm personally not the type of person who will go for an orange color blush, I don't see why I couldn't wear this one. And to me, just sitting here looking at all of them, I think the one I would enjoy the most would probably be Stargaze right here on the bottom middle. She looks like she'll probably be the color that I would wear the most often. But this mirror here, honey, she huge. She ain't playing with them, and I honestly cannot wait to get into this palette. And enough of the Sigma and Lunar Beauty. Let's go ahead and put this box to the side and go to the next one. Next up in this box, what do we have? I believe this is Dose of Colors. Honey, I was too ecstatic about this Dose of Colors order because I honestly did not think I was going to get everything. First off, just for this particular box, look at how cute that is. They decorated the inside with the Donald and Daisy logos. Honey, really, really beautiful, really, really pretty. But that ain't what we was here for. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I did not get everything from that collection, but the 2 things I really did want was, one was the palette. I collected every single Dose of Color eyeshadow palette that they've come out with, and because I already have the Mickey and Minnie set, I was not going to skip out on this one. The box and the palette both look the same, so let me show you what the box looks like first. Nice soft pastel color. The palette looks exactly the same, and to me, I really wish they would have just come out and said this was 7 eyeshadows, but they did come out and say it was 6 eyeshadows and 1 bronzer. The thing is, this ain't gonna bronze my skin, so I don't know who gonna use it as a bronzer, but it won't be me. But this is what the 7 colors look like on the inside. But the thing is, they've always done it this way, especially with the Disney collabs, where they've given you 6 shadows and 1 face product. I believe with the Mickey and Minnie, we got a blush and a highlighter. So I guess now they're on to bronzer. But the eyeshadows look like they would fit any complexion. It's that bronzer where you're going to really have to see what your complexion is and test it out to see if it's going to work for you. Once again, I'm just a Dose of Color collector. They've never given me They've never given me a bad product, so I'm going to continue to collect their eyeshadows. Also, whoops, almost lost that box, honey. Also from that collection, I did collect the gloss because you know I absolutely love gloss. And I believe this is a reflective gloss. I do believe it has glitter. This is what the box looks like. Just nice, plain, and simple. They didn't do too much for this. I do believe here on the sides it does have pictures of Daisy's bow as well as Donald's hat and a few hearts. I'm not sure if that's going to show on camera for you all, but just to have another gloss, I really didn't need it. But this is what she looks like. She's a nice pink corally gloss that has like some gold and pink reflex on the inside. Absolutely beautiful. I did not need this, but I absolutely had to have her. And also, I want to see if I can grab something so you can see this. Let's see if it'll show up like this, where you can see the cap as well as what this looks like. Let's see if that'll show up better like that. I'm trying to see if I can find a way for you all can see the details on this packaging, and then I think there it goes, where you can see the hearts and things on the cap of the gloss and get a more true color of the gloss here. She's absolutely stunning. We got a few other things from Dose of Color too, because baby, they've been having some nice little sales going on. And I am someone who's been collecting these here for a moment. These are the, what are they called? The Ideal Duos. This one here is in Frozen. And I got this simply because it was the lightest color, and more than likely I'm never going to use it. But because I have so many other ones, this is a loose pigment and primer. This is what the box looks like. I believe they truly are discontinuing these because I haven't heard about them coming out with any new shades for years. And it seems like the price of these only keeps getting lower and lower and lower. So I really do believe they're going to get rid of these. It's just a small pot. When you first open the top, it has a cream primer on top. There is a small mirror there, but most people usually aren't going to use a mirror that small. And underneath, it has a small cap where you unscrew it, and then it has a loose pigment on the bottom. This Frozen one is a nice white shade. And I'm not going to take that sticker off, but that should just still allow you to see the color of the pigment in there. Just a nice white sparkly pigment. So more than likely this is just going to go on the shelf. I wanted to grab before it, just sold out. My favorite ones are the, the green and the neutral ones. Those are always going to get it for me. But just to have something different in my collection, I did go ahead and get this Frozen white shade. But that ain't the star of the show. Baby, when it comes to Dose of Color, if they have ever had, something that was just like took over the world, it's going to be two things. One, their Friendication palette, which although everybody liked that, you can still find that. What you not going to find and what sold out like that, honey, the Nema Tang lip sets. Honey, honey, honey. These two things here, when they first came out, I kept telling myself, you know what? I think they were like $49, and I kept saying, okay, Torrence, you don't need all of those, but you definitely have to support Nema. You have to support Nema. So I only got the coral set at first. I got the coral set, and then what I realized is the nude set is what everybody was going after. First off, let me show y'all what this box looks like up close, honey. This comes with a lip liner, a liquid lipstick, a lip gloss, and a bullet lipstick. But this box first for this coral set, I kept saying, Torrence, you don't have anything like this in your collection. Go ahead and get it because you're not the biggest fan of orange lip products, and this will help you, broaden your collection. So I got it, and once I got it, I believe they did a small restock, or it sold out on Dose of Colors, and then I had to find it at a different website. This is what this looks like on the inside here. All 4 products, and as soon as I got it, I was in love, and all I kept saying is, Torrence, why didn't you get that nude set? Why didn't you get that nude set? And I really thought I wouldn't want the nude set just because of how dark it was, because it was meant to be nude on a darker woman of color. But I just had to have it. I just had to have it. But after this sold out on the Dose of Colors website, Namies did come back and restock the nude set, and I was able to grab it there because, trust me, people were going crazy when this one sold out. This is the one that everybody had to have because dark-skinned women of color have been coming out and letting us know we need more shades like this. And although I'm not considered dark-skinned, honey, I know a lot of clients that will appreciate this when I get back to freelancing. I have some family and friends that are darker women of color that would absolutely love to try out these formulas. And so, honey, I got them both. I got them both before they sold out, and I'm so ecstatic I did because this one here was so hard to find that by the time I bought mine and sent the link to other people, some people were able to get it, others said it sold out before they can get to the website. But to know that I have a lip liner, a bullet lipstick, a matte lipstick, and a gloss that will work on any dark-skinned woman of color, it feels amazing to know I don't even have to worry. Will these show up? Are they pigment enough? Are they beautiful? Yes, they are, because Nema Tang already approved them. Had to have them. Had to have them. When I tell you, I stalked the mail lady until these were dropped off. I was on that tracking over and over and over, refreshing, because this set I knew I would get and I wanted, and I was able to find. This set, baby, it was like striking gold when that order number finally came through. I think the only thing left in this box here is a couple stickers. Usually when you order from Dose of Colors, they usually like to put stickers like this in the box. So I have many of these that I didn't need. But this set here, the Daisy Donald set, I think I may just go ahead and keep those just because I don't have any stickers like that. And we could go ahead and put this stuff back. And we got what? I see 1, 2, 3, 4 more boxes left, baby. We gonna get through the day. We gonna get through the day. But I told y'all, honey. I told y'all, make sure y'all was ready for a haul, because I wasn't playing with the stones. Next up in here, ooh, this is a big old, thick old, heavy old box. So this one more than likely has the high-end brands and the expensive stuff that I wanted. And I want to make sure I set you down somewhere real safe so I don't drop this stuff. I'll get her up in here. Although this is in a Tarte box, honey, because I did order some stuff from Tarte, the stuff that's in this particular box ain't from Tarte. So let's see where we're going to start. First up, we have this from Viseart. This is a Rose Edit palette. I am someone who loves collecting from Viseart. They make my absolute favorite matte formula. And I tend to collect the Grande Pros, the original size. I like to collect the Attendues, the Edits, and it's another one, the Petites, as well as the Theory palettes. But this is the only Edit palette that I don't have at home in my magnetic palettes. I usually take them out their containers and put them in another one. And so this is the only one I have to go home and add to my collection. Once again, this is the Rose Edit palette. It's a miniature 12-pan palette. I personally, am not the biggest fan of the size of these, but I always love the color stories. Oh, I was about to say, Lord, please don't let that be broken. She Night is just a little glitter fallout. So let me go ahead and put that on there like that and give you all a close-up view of this palette. And as you can see, she's just a nice, soft, neutral, pinky, rosy, purpley color. It's not my form of neutral, but it gives you a little pop of color, and just because I have all the other Edit palettes, I didn't want this one to go and sell out before I got it. I'm a completionist, I can admit that, and more than likely, this may only get used once or twice, but I had to have her. Ain't no point in lying. Just wanted to complete my collection, so she's gonna go home, go into her container, and probably never be spoken to again. What else do we have in this container here? Because I'm telling y'all, this box is heavy and filled. Next up, we have some brushes that we've been collecting. I wanted to go ahead and start trying out some more high-end brushes. I'm not sure if you all know, but I am an absolute huge makeup brush collector. I just think brushes can change. Did they really start cutting down on trees and stuff when I started recording? I am someone who loves brushes and believe they completely change up your makeup game. And so I wanted to go get me some. I'll be right back. Let me go turn that down. Alright, not sure where I was, but I had to get up and close that door and that window because my neighbors decided today of all days they wanted to go ahead and trim down their bushes and cut trees. You know what, we're going to have to ignore them because I'm not doing this all over again. So let's keep it moving. I am someone who also absolutely loves brushes. Absolutely love makeup brushes. And so I decided, you know what, Torrence, we're going to step up our brush game. And not only do we want to step our synthetic brushes, we want to get into more high-end luxury natural hair brushes. So I decided to pick up a few from 2 different brands. The first one is going to be Redford. I've heard nothing but a lot of good things about Redford brushes, but there's no point in lying. Most people who you hear speaking good things about Redford brushes usually have a discount code or were sent the brushes. So I said, you know what, Torrence, we're going to try a few of them ourselves just to see what they're like. I believe I ordered 3 different sets. They come in a nice simple box here. The shipping was fast, that much I'll give them. I ordered 3 different kits, so to make sure that I had a wide variety of shapes and sizes, And I believe all of these are eye brushes. I wanted to make sure I like those first before I invest the money on face brushes. And all of these brushes look like they have a different sleeve on them. So what I'm going to try to do is just open up each one and give you a close-up and see what they look like. This brush here is the number 14. It's a nice thin taper blending brush. This next one here is a small pencil brush. I believe I may even have a larger pencil brush than this from them. This is the number 3 brush. The next brush we have here, let's set those down to make sure we don't get them mixed up. This next one here, he's not quite a pencil brush, but he looks similar to a larger buffing pencil brush. This one here is called the number 12. I think this would be considered more of just like a small dome smudger brush. But he has a nice rounded tip to him. And once again, I think I ordered either 3 sets of 4, but we'll just go ahead and in a detailed video, if you all want to see my rougher brushes, just let me know. This one here is like a medium-sized blending brush. This is brush number 15. I love the fact that he comes to a tip because I have hooded eyes, and I find that it's easier to get things deep into the socket of my crease when brushes come to a tip. The next one is going to be I'm going to say a small to medium shader brush. On my eye, I have very, very large lids. So for me, most brushes that many people consider large, I would only consider a medium. But this one here is the number 2 brush. And I have been on the hunt for a nice shader brush that is natural hair. I find that they tend to pick up the most tiniest particles of eyeshadow the best, a little bit better than synthetic brushes for me. And it's nice and small and wide this way, but if you turn it this way, it's nice and thin. And baby, I really think next though, they try to get that thing on as soon as I start speaking. No, this one here is the larger pencil brush. I knew I saw a second one. I thought that dome one was it. But this one here is a rather large pencil brush, and this is the number 26 brush. So if I ever want to smoke out my lower lash line, I know I can go in with this large one here first, and then I can go into that smaller one that I have to diffuse or even intensify that color. So the fact that I have 2 different sizes pencil brushes, which is usually something I never get from a brand, already got me excited. Next up we have, this is probably one of the most famous shapes of eyeshadow brushes. I think the most iconic of them all is the MAC 217 brush, but this is their number 1 brush, and it's like a taper blending brush. To me, she's like the perfect workhorse. She's like a blending brush, a shader brush, and everything in one. I think out of all of their brushes, if you ever find a natural hair brush that has this shape, it's rather thin when you lay it this way, but wide this way, comes to an angle here. It's perfect for going into the crease, turning it sideways, putting it on a transition shade, putting it right here and going into the outer V, sweeping it across and getting a lid shade. Like, this is probably the most universal brush shape that I can think of. And that's probably why they have it as their number 1 brush. Next up is probably the smallest, and actually no. Next up is another brush that I would say is probably shaped just like the previous one, but she's a little smaller, and she's sort of like a taper blend, sort of like a shader brush, but she's a little bit smaller. And this one here is their number 28 brush. Once again, sort of shaped like their number 1, but not quite as tapered, not quite as thick, not quite as dense, but it can be the same thing said like their shader brush. It's not quite as dense, not quite as thick. So you could probably use this as either one. More than likely, I'm going to use this to put like a color on my inner corner, probably sweep something underneath my brow, but I don't see me using this for my crease. Just because I have really large eyes, but I think if you have smaller eyes, this would probably be beautiful. The next one up that we have is going to be the largest and smallest blending brushes of them all. The largest one that I saw is the number 27. And you can look at how big and fluffy she is, baby. You're going to get your transition on with a color this big. I mean, with a brush this big. So, out of everything, when I was on the website, I was definitely looking for a large blending brush. Because when I want to get my colors going, I get huge eyes. So, I need to be able to make sure my transition is popping. And also, we have the smallest blending brush that I saw on the website. Because I'm someone who really likes to deepen up my crease. Especially if you're going with a black, you're going with a small brush first, then buff it out with a bigger brush. You can do that with something like their number 13 brush. Especially if you want to do a cut crease, deepening it up first helps that color on your lid come up a lot better. So I can't wait to test this out. Once again, the number 13 brush. And so far, all of these brushes had white hair to them. This last brush is the only one that came with brown hair. And it's the push liner brush, so having darker hairs doesn't bother me because more than likely I'm going to be using darker colors. And this is the number 29 brush. And the only other the only other natural hair brush that I believe I have that comes this small, I think is my Goss push liner brush. So this is their number 29, and I cannot wait to use it. The only way this will be able to come in and do anything to compete with my Goss brush is, baby, you're going to have to, one, pick up a lot of pigment, and two, you got to be soft. To get this close to the lash line, honey, you got to have some soft bristles. So we're going to hope and pray that this is as good as the Goss, because, baby, it is hard to find brushes this small and that effective. And once again, I'm going to be doing a review on these because that's part of buying things from the concept store and Redford, is that you buy them and you send back your feedback and then you can get a discount on your next purchase. But besides that, we wanted some more luxury brushes, and that's where we went to Hakuhodo. Honey, I've been hearing about Hakuhodo for years and never had quite the guts to pull the trigger and just buy them online, because I kept telling myself, if you buy them and you don't like them, you're more than likely going to be stuck with them, because I'm not sure about shipping things back. But you know what? I kept telling myself, who cares? Go ahead, treat yourself, get you some good brushes, because I've never heard anything but good things about Hakuhodo brushes. And I'm just now noticing all of these brushes are completely sealed up, honey. Alright, you guys, we're back, and I've gone ahead and opened up these because, as you can see, they come individually wrapped. They have a little sleeve on them, but they still come in another pack. So this first brush that we have here is called the J521h Brush. It looks like a very, very small tapered blending brush. Sort of looks like a, what can I say, the MAC. I think the MAC 242 is a good representation of what this brush looks like. Nice natural hair, very thin, so to me this will be good for putting color either on the inner corner or the brow bone. Many people like small flat shader brushes like this to put color on the lid, but I find because I have really large lids that this isn't quite big enough. So if you all would like to see a tutorial or review on the Hakuhodo brushes, just let me know. With these, they were just paid for, so they're mine, so I don't have to do a review like the Redford brushes. But I wanted something that was like extreme quality, something I don't have to question. This next one here is the Hakuhodo B004G. So, thought they all were going to start with the letter J, but I guess not. This one here looks like a larger shader brush. This would probably be something more along the line of what I would use to put on my lid. Nice, large, wide shader brush. For me, I still would consider this a medium-sized brush just because I have really large lids. But most people would be able to do their entire lid with this brush and be just happy. I could too, but you know what? I'm picky and I like to be doing the most. So this is the B004G brush. Let me see if we have any more shader brushes. Right now I don't see any. What I do want to show you all is this one here. This is the J521h brush. And this one here looks just like that tiny push liner brush. I'm starting to see more and more of these as I start to look at how teeny tiny that one is. I wanted to go ahead and keep that cap on there just so you can see how small it is, but it looks like on camera you can't tell. So let me go ahead and take that off. Look at how thin that is. Look at how small it is. It's barely even showing up on camera, honey. That lets me know I'm going to get my push liner on, baby. That line going to be so small, so close to the edge that it's going to scare me. And I can't wait to use it. So I've been getting more into push liner brushes, and I'm starting to find out that the smallest and best ones, baby, are the ones that's been avoiding me. This next brush is going to be the B5524H. This is going to be the pencil brush, and she's rather small. So I was trying to look to see if they had a larger one than this, but you know what? She'll get the job done. Just looks like a small, very, very pointed pencil brush. And that's usually the best thing I like, because I need to be able to put product down and buff it out. I generally tend to use a larger, wider one just because I have very large eyes and I want to make sure I can smoke it out as wide as possible. But having pencil brushes of different sizes is really going to come in handy in the future. These last two, no, not these last two. This next one is going to be sort of just like that MAC 217, where it comes to a tip. It can be used as a shader brush. It can be used as a blender brush. She's just that all-around workhorse. And this one here is called the J5523 brush. If you look at her, she looks nice and flat, like she could be a shader brush or a lid brush. But then she's nice and dense, and she has that tapered edge, so she can go ahead and be used as a blending brush. You can take her to the side, bam, bam, bam. Flip her like this, press product down. You're not going to get quite the opacity as you would with the lid brush, but this, once again, that workhorse shape, that shape that everybody tries to have in their collection because it's just fabulous. That one, once again, is the J5523. These last two are blending brushes. This first one is going to be the largest of them all. This is the J5522. This is a large blending brush. More than likely, I'm going to use this for transition shades. No matter what I do, I always like to make sure my transition shade is popping. I have really big eyelids. I have hooded lids, so I need a brush that's going to come to a point and be very large to make sure I can diffuse color everywhere. And I really think this brush is going to do it. Next up in here, oh, we got one last brush. I actually bought this, I think, secondhand just because I already had this brush, but I didn't, how can I put it? I already had this brush. When I went in my collection to look for it and find it, I realized that the handle itself had been crushed. I'm not sure what could have did that, what I stacked on top of it, but I really wanted a backup of this brush, so I did have to buy this secondhand off eBay. But because of my knowledge of MAC brushes, I was confident once I got it, I would be able to tell if it's a real or a fake. This does appear to be real, and this is the MAC 275. This is the only single MAC brush that I bought, but I got it because of that slope on the side and just to replace the one that I already have. I believe MAC still carries this in the synthetic version, but I really wanted a natural hair version to have in my collection. So this is just that last single brush that goes with that. What else do we have in here? Oh, I don't have it in its box anymore, but I do have this palette here. I've been wanting to go ahead and use it because recently they did put it on a 50% off sale. The Urban Decay Naked Honey. I bought it and took it out the box because I genuinely thought I was going to use it immediately. Got hurt and didn't get the chance to do so. But this is just a nice, warm, yellow-toned neutral palette. And I've heard nothing but amazing things about this palette since it has released. I've been waiting to use it but haven't quite had the chance. And so I brought this with me even though I don't have the box. The box is at home. But I'm telling you, the day I get into this, I think I'm going to be extremely happy. Next up in this box, what else do we have from Urban Decay? We also have a Vice lipstick. I believe they just reformulated. So this one here is in the shade Stark Naked. It's a comfort matte. I'm not sure if they reformulated or just redid the packaging, but all of these are going on sale, the ones that are in this packaging here. So if you see an Urban Decay lipstick that you want to get, I would recommend go ahead and get it before they reformulate. This is just a basic pale nude shade. Y'all know I love nude lipsticks, and at a half off price, I wasn't mad about her. I generally prefer matte to satin lipsticks unless I'm going to put a gloss on it because it helps me switch up the texture. If I go extremely matte, I can have that, but if I want something more creamy, I can add on top of it. But I didn't have this shade, and at half off, I figured, why not? Next up in this one for expensive stuff, baby. I want to be careful with this because everybody was asking me about these, and I had to get them. This is the Sydney Grace and Temptalia collection. First off, I've never purchased anything from Sydney Grace, and so I've always wanted to try it because I've heard nothing but good things about them, but I just never pulled the trigger. And for this set, as soon as it dropped, nobody had to ask me anything. Nobody had to ask me anything because I knew I was going to get it. First off, I want to try to show you. It came with 3 palettes and one. Actually, no. What we're going to do is take these out of the palettes. The palettes out of the box to make sure there's 0 chance of dropping them. Because that's what's going to make my heart stop. There were 3 palettes. And you could stack them all up like this and it creates one big beautiful picture. I'm trying to show y'all what that looked like this. This is just the box cartons because I don't want to risk dropping this. Let me see if I can get this up close for you all. Look at how pretty that is. Tell me Temptalia did not go above and beyond with this color story and with this packaging. And just looking at those, it's like, baby, what kind of shades is you going to give me? They did not disappoint. And what makes this even better is, with most eyeshadow palettes, they come out with one version of it, and that's just it. Temptalia went the extra mile and came out with a light and a deep version where the matte shades will complement that particular skin tone. If you have a lighter, more fair tone skin tone, you can get that light set which will have light transition and light crease shades. But because I'm a person of color, I got the deep ones because I like darker shades and I wanted something that will be more complementary to my skin tone. And there were 3 different palettes. The first one we're going to go into is the, is the Quintessence palette. That one here would be considered that top of the 3. This Quintessence palette, honey. Beautiful. Beautiful. And you're going to be like, Torrence, what makes it beautiful to you, honey? Let me go ahead and show you. Y'all already know. Greens are my favorite, and then blacks come behind it. Look at this. Now tell me, if greens were your favorite and blacks were your second favorite, how much would you like this? Tell me Temptalia didn't give me everything I needed in this palette. I'm going to be making my smoky green dreams come true with this palette. And I can't wait to get into it. Then I'm like, okay, she can't make it no better. She can't. Next up, we got the On the Horizon palette. And I'm sitting back thinking, what else could she give us? Now this one, it is some greens into it, but you got your purples and you got your oranges to help round it out. So this palette isn't quite as dark, but tell me I'm still not going to get my jewel tone dreams going on. You still gave me a pop of green in this palette as well. So it's like, sis, what do I'm trying to cover this up. I'm just telling y'all, I'm trying my hardest not to drop this while showing it to y'all. Because, baby, I think this sold out, the dark set, and I ain't trying to replace it until I use it. I ain't trying to replace it at all because I'm trying to have it forever. But look at this. A little more neutral, a little more daily friendly, but still got that pop of green in there for me. So I'm like, oh yeah, honey. I had to. I had to. And then for this last one, what is this called? Radiant Reflection. Tell me Temptalia really didn't go above and beyond with this. Look at that pop of blue. Y'all know I'm not the biggest fan of blues. But to me, tell me she didn't go above and beyond. This to me looks like a dark jewel tone rainbow palette that any and everybody could enjoy. And once again, the fact that you gave me 3 different palettes that have 3 different shades of green in it, this is like the Brights palette I've been waiting for and been missing in my collection, and I cannot wait to get into it. So if for any reason you all want to see a tutorial on any of the three or all three of the Tinted palettes, I have them. I got them on first launch. There was no way they were going to come out and I not grab them. But also they came out with a single shadow. I almost forgot about them, and it's called Dear Reader. Came in this little packaging here. I did not want to take it out to make sure I did not drop it or anything, but I want to pull this up just so you all can see it. So now I can say I not only have my first Sydney Grace palette, I have my first Sydney Grace single. So I have to figure out what I'm going to do with this shade. I'm trying to be careful because, baby, I don't want to drop nothing. And this one is called Dear Reader. And look at her. Just a single shadow. And honestly, I really wish she would have came out with multiple singles. But the fact that these palettes are magnetic, so I'll be able to take them out and rearrange them, you already know I'm going to do it. I'm going to wait until after I do reviews, but eventually all of those palettes going to get rearranged. So let me go ahead, put these back in a box, and I'll be back to show you what else is left in here, because it looks like everything else in this tart box is MakeupBy Cosmetics, so we'll be right back. Right, now that we've put up the Sydney Grace items because we were afraid of dropping them, I can go ahead and show you what else we have in here. I totally told you all that everything in here was going to be MakeupBy Cosmetics. I'm just now realizing it's all not. But most of the stuff is. The first thing we have is the Sculpt Stack. I believe I've purchased, well, I know for sure I've purchased every single palette that they've come out with. And I think I've purchased every stack except for the radioactive stack in any of the cream ones. But all the powder ones I have. This is what the box looks like. I believe this was a bronzer and contour stack, which is probably why it didn't do quite as well as the eyeshadow ones. But this one here comes with 4 different shades. It comes with 2 bronzers, 2 contours. Many people either absolutely love or hate the MakeupBy Cosmetics stack formula. I absolutely love them. But I want to show them to you. I believe this first one is the light medium bronzer shade, and that's all it's called, is light medium bronzer. So that's one here. This next one is the light medium contour shade. Next we have the medium dark bronzer shade. And last is the medium dark contour shade. So more than likely I'm going to test them out just to see if they work as bronzers and contours. But I'm the type of person who uses the stacks as eyeshadows. And because these are eye safe, that's more than likely how they'll be used. But I wanted to go ahead and separate them. And these are very delicate like this with the magnets. So I wanted to hold them up like this just to show you what all 4 shades look like. I believe starting on your right hand side is where it's the light medium bronzer, and then working to your left it's the light medium contour, then the medium dark bronzer, and then contour. But that's what all 4 shades look like, and more than likely they're just probably going to be used as eyeshadows. But we have them here just to add to our collection. I personally wish they should have sold these individually, because more than likely once you find out which shades work for you, you're not going to want the rest. But it is what it is. Next up, I also have their Petite eyeshadow palette. I honestly was not going to get this. I don't even have the box for it right now because I did open it up. But because I figured I had all the other stacks, I had to have this one too. This is called the Neutral Browns Petite eyeshadow stack. And it's just something small and friendly. It's just larger than a bullet lipstick in my opinion. So if you want something just quick, fast, you can go ahead and use this. I'm not even sure if the shades have names on them. It doesn't look like it, so you just go 1 through I believe 5. You take this top off and it just has 5 small simple shades. This is the lightest one. Shade number 1 is Matte. Shade number 2 is a Metallic. Shade number 3 is a Matte. That looks like a medium tone. So that first one will probably be like a brow bone. The second one will probably be a transition shade. This third one here looks like it'll be a nice crease shade. Well, no, this is number 4. So number 4 will be a nice crease shade. And number 5 could either also be a crease shade, or you could even use this as a liner. So you can get you a complete eye look with these 5 small individual eyeshadows. And this is the petite stack. So we have that as well. Next up, I finally was able to get the Fortune eyeliner. When I tell you, it took forever to finally get a hold of this thing because I did not get Fortuna. I believe it's called Fortuna when it came out with the Vita and Morte palette. They brought it back as full time. It's now called Fortune. First off, Melt Cosmetics just makes amazing gel liners. This box, the fact that it has that nice green hue to it automatically made me know I want it. I already have their Wallflower, which was a light green, but this was the one item besides the radioactive stack that I really wish I could go back in time and grab. I have this now. I don't see them bringing back the radioactive stack, but if I find a reliable source to sell it to me, I promise you I'm going to get it. This is what the compact looks like. It's nice heavy glass. The cap usually reflects what color you're going to get on the inside. And look at that color. Look at the color on her, honey. Look how beautiful and deep and green she is. I don't have any color like this in my collection, any color whatsoever, so I am so ecstatic to have this now. It's like, I'm just geeked. I am just so geeked. I cannot wait to go ahead and add this to my eyes. But honey, I missed out on Fortuna, but I was not going to miss out on Fortune. Had to have her. Next up from Melt is their Brunettes palette. Did I need this? No. I've already bought so many neutral palettes that I don't need anymore. And honestly, I've heard that these colors are really, really light. But as someone who's collected every other palette, I'm a sucker, so I had to get it. And even when you look at it, it's like the box on this is even plain, honey. Like, what was y'all doing? Where was the design team, honey? Was they on vacation? It wasn't no energy or effort put into this palette here. But then you get to the inside and you're like, okay, this is what it looked like. Once again, just nice and plain. The packaging itself is reflective, but it's like, once again, it seemed like the creative artist behind this one was on vacation and he said, screw it. But you get to the inside and it's just a basic neutral palette. But from what I've heard, this is probably one of the best formulated palettes that they have put out. And Melt is one of those brands where I've come to find you either absolutely love or absolutely hate the formula. And many times they can be known to switch up their formulas. But just looking at this, she looks neutral. She looks everyday wearable. But I'm quite sure the deeper your complexion is, the more difficult it's probably going to be to pull off a satisfactory look for you. Let me go ahead and just throw this plastic piece because she's getting on my nerve and me trying to balance her. I want to try to give you a closer view of this because I believe there are only 3 metallics in this palette. And it's just like, honey, I think on my complexion she'll be beautiful, but I'm quite sure, once again, the deeper you get, the harder it's going to be to get something that'll fit your crease. And although I thought everything in this box was all Melt Cosmetics, there are still 2 palettes left in there. And they not Melt Cosmetics, but they're expensive, which is why they in here. First up, we have from Artist Couture, the new Supreme Bronze palette. I have the Supreme Nude palette, and she is absolutely stunning. Artist Couture is another brand where I've purchased every single palette that they've come out with. And I think the reason behind it is, one, I love and support the creator Mac Daddy. His name is Angel Marino. And 2, never had a bad product. Looks just like the Supreme Nude palette, except as you see it says Supreme Bronze. Same shape palette, same number of shades. But to me, this color story is much, much warmer. Many people kept saying, you know, they look so similar that you don't need both. I personally feel as if because that first shade did not have a matte black and this one does, it's something where I can get away with both. And when you hold them up side by side, I've seen other people do reviews on them. I truly do believe that they are different palettes in different shades. Wanted to block that mirror and give you all a closer view of this. And you can see this palette is much, much, much warmer than the Supreme Nudes. I find the Supreme Nudes to be much more neutral. This is much more warm tone. So more than likely, I'll probably get less use of this because I'm not the biggest fans of yellow, like rich, you know, 24 karat yellow golds or orange shades. But had to have her. She's going to be beautiful, I'm quite sure. Aristocats never lets me down with their formulas, especially with their eyeshadows. So we have this here. I'm trying to see why she's giving me issues getting back in the box. There she go. And I believe the last palette in this particular box, let's see what we get, is this one here. The one that took the world by storm, honey. Patrick Ta Major Dimension. When he first dropped this, everybody kept bragging about either A, how beautiful it was, or B, how it could not be worth the price. I'm not sure, but it's just a plain pink box because I haven't gone through it yet. But the one thing I know I was looking at was the fact that it had 2 cream shadows, and I'm like, but you know, I'm a sucker for the hype, and so far I haven't had anything bad from Patrick Ta. So I wanted to get it just to see if either A, those cream shadows will make life a lot easier or a lot harder. And this is what it looks like. It's a nice glossy box, just like his brow products. So more than likely, if you have dirty fingertips or anything, like you see, I just pulled her out. She already got fingerprints. So she gonna get dirty. You ain't gonna be able to help that. She gonna get dirty. But on the inside, you just have a beautiful color story. I'm like, out of everything that I've seen from the brand, I think this just looks like the most glamorous, most prettiest thing that he has done. Like, this color story is nothing brand new, it's nothing revolutionary, but how stunning it's laid out, where you see the mattes on the bottom, those pearlescent shades on the top. Look at that. But I be hating when my camera goes that light to that dark that fast, but I wanted to make sure you all got to see that in different lighting. Let me see if I can do this again where you all can get a good view of that. Trying my best not to let this mirror blind you all. But as you can see, closest to my hand are where the 2 cream shades is. I can open that door for you all and hold that there just so you can see what those 2 cream shades look like. Trying to make sure I get y'all a good view, but the 2 closest to my hand are the cream shades. The others are the mattes. And the thing is, because this is so reflective, I'm not going to be able to get a good view of it here. But if for any reason you all want a tutorial on this, promise y'all, as soon as I get back to the house, I can't wait to start recording full-fledged, you know, reviews and tutorials for you all. But I had to get this Patrick Ta behind me. They were not going to risk selling out on me and I not get it. And I'm just now noticing one more thing in here. I thought I was through showing y'all everything from Milk Cosmetics, but they did come out with some more bullet lipsticks, and I did grab one. It's their new Ultra Matte lipstick. I grabbed the shade Zaddy. This is for their Nudes collection, and they spell Nudes N-O-O-D-S. And the reason I got this is because I've already liked their formula, but now they have an embossing on the side of the lipsticks. And so I wanted to try that. Looks like they have a new compact for them. So this is a new container. The thing is, they have the word Milk Cosmetics embossed around the edges of the lipstick. I'm not sure if the camera is even going to pick that up. But just because it had that embossing, I had to try this out. Y'all know I love me a pale nude shade. So this shade here, Zaddy, is what got my attention. And we're going to try this out and see if we like their new collection. Just notice that's magnetic. I didn't catch that at first. So when you put it on, it snaps down. So that's good. And I think that is all we have in this particular box. We have 3 more left. So I'm going to go ahead, move this box out the way, and then I'll be right back to show you one of the next 3. Although I said there were 3 boxes left, there are technically 2 bags in 1 box. So let's go ahead and get the bags out first, because those will be the easiest to break down. This first one is going to be all of that stuff that I bought from Tarte. You saw that Tarte box earlier, so let me set this back down. The first thing we have is 4 of their chrome paint pots. I'm someone who has loved the Tarte chrome paint pots for quite some time. The problem is, 1, they were expensive for single eyeshadows. And 2, although they came in a pot, they weren't like a cream shadow. To me, they were like a loose powder that was pressed down. And if you put it on, they looked like a cream. but it was hard for Tarte to sell them at that price, and many people didn't keep up with them. So I have 4 here to add to my collection, and I got them on clearance. All of this was purchased on the Tarte website. The first one we have here is Park Avenue Princess. I think many brands have that signature shade. You have like Pillow Talk from Charlotte Tilbury. You have Orgasm from NARS. With Tarte, Park Avenue Princess is their shade. And so it was that one shade that I always skipped over because I didn't feel as if I needed. But on the inside, you do get, ooh baby, this look like she might be loose already, is a nice loose pigment shadow. The thing is, you screw the top off, and I'm trying to be very careful. You can see there is some that has sprinkled on that clear cap there. So I don't want to risk opening this up and losing anything. But it has this small little cap thing there that you can use to help press the pigment back down into the container. And because I don't want to risk that tipping out, we're going to go ahead and put her back on. We ain't trying to make a mess when we just showing things off. I want to see if you can look at the bottom of that container and see what that shade looks like. Most of these shades are nice and neutral. And you can see she's just a nice little champagne-y, pinky, you know, coppery looking shade. She just looks like a nice, beautiful neutral. So we have Park Avenue Princess there. This next one, which definitely looks much more pink, is called Paradise Found. Going to be in the same container. You can see that shade looks much more pink on the box. And it's just the same thing, just a slightly much more pink tone shade here. A much more bronzy coppery look is this Sun Drenched shade. This one actually looks like she might have packed down easier, but to me this is probably the darkest shade of them all. Looks definitely much more copper, much more bronzy. But this is definitely the darkest of them all, and it's called Sun Drenched. I want to just give you a look at the top of that package there. In the 4th and last shade, I'm guessing this is probably an older box because it's much larger. This one is called Top Yacht. This one is much more of your champagne color. So it just says Top Yacht across the top. I believe the container, oh yeah, see, this is definitely what the old school containers used to look like. When I first started collecting them, they were just completely opaque. It was just one thing across the top, and to see the color, you had to look on the bottom. So those with the clear lids are the more updated packaging, but I do believe they are discontinuing these. And this one here is a much more neutral champagne shade. So we have those 4 there. Those are just single shadows. More than likely, I won't do a review for those because they are discontinuing them, but they are something I'm going to use in my personal life. This last thing here is 2 empty magnetic palettes. They are both the same. They just come in this little box here. Lips are my favorite part of the body, which is why I had to have them, even though there's a pretty good chance I'm not going to use them. And what this is just an empty magnetic palette. They were on clearance. I thought they were cute. I figured if I ever get to traveling, I may put something in them. If not, who cares? But this is what it looks like. Just a pink, glittery magnetic palette. She looks pretty. She has a small mirror. It looks like you would be able to store several shades in there. I'm quite sure I could fit at least 1, 2, 3. I'm guessing I can get at least a dozen shades in there that are regular size pans. But just to know that I had something different that isn't just your basic square magnetic palette. I always use my magnetic palettes for pro reasons, but this is something I could just add to my collection that you just don't see every now and then. And I got 2 of them just because if I damaged one or lost it in travel or anything, I could always have another for collector's purposes. So I just have those here. I don't think I've ever even seen anybody with these, so just something to have. Put this bag back. This next bag here is full of things that either I got from Ulta or things from brands that you can get from Ulta. Because one of them is the new Lash Princess mascara from Essence. I think They already had 3 or 4 of them, and I absolutely love the one in the green tube. This is their newest addition to the collection. It's called the Curl and Volume Mascara, and it has a nice purple tube to it. And because I've tested out the other formulas, I figured for $5, why not go ahead and test this one out as well. See if she is worth the hype like her brothers and sisters are. So we're going to go ahead and see what she's like. I'm going to put this down just so I can pull all the rest of this stuff out of the box. Let me set you down right here. The next thing we have is something I got just to celebrate Pride Month. This is from HipDot. This is their Diamond Diva with Meatballs palette. It's a pressed pigment and glitter palette. Trying to make sure you get a good view of that on camera. I seem to be having difficulty showing you all what this palette looks like, but I just wanted to make sure you see there are different symbols across the top that represents different people's identities for their, well, just say for themselves. But it's a bunch of different symbols on there, and I got this once again just for Pride Month. I personally never purchased any makeup from HipDot, and so I have no idea what the formula is like, but I wanted to go ahead and get this just because it's a rainbow palette with glitters, and it came out during Pride Month. And once again, it was a collab with Meatball, I believe is a drag queen, and she's just very bold, very vibrant, very colorful. I figured if I like it, it's an addition to my collection. If I don't, I was able still to support the LGBTQ plus community, as well as go ahead and test out a new brand. So we have this here, and she looks extremely beautiful on camera. And one second, because I got a phone call. Whoops, looks like I need to hurry up and get this done because I got company on the way, so let's keep it moving. Next up in this was something from Ulta Beauty and Kylie Cosmetics, honey. They have a lip duo because you know Kim and Kylie are both rebranding, reformulating, so a lot of their stuff is on sale. I got the Kylie lip kit in the shade Ulta Beauty just because I love and support the women that work at my local Ulta Beauty. Not really the biggest fan of the Kylie lip formula. Her lip liners, fabulous. That liquid lipstick was dry to me, but it came with a nice lip liner here. Nice neutral shade. Liquid lipstick here. I'm going to try them out just to see if she has changed it from the original one I had. But the one liquid lipstick that I bought from Kylie Baby was so dry I never put her back on. That liner was amazing. But once again, got this just because it was in the shade Ulta Beauty. What else do we have in here? Oh, Kim's last collection. She came out with the Camo collection right before she announced that her brand is going to be shutting down. You already know I absolutely love greens. I already have a video showing off my KKW collection. If you would like to see that, you can check out that video right here. But I had to get this palette, and so far, even though I've never tested it out, the only thing that disappointed me was online. I thought that the fabric of this was going to actually be like denim or something, but it is paper like the rest of her palettes. It just looked like it. Not necessarily a bad thing, but I really, really wish for her last collection she could have went all out and did that denim packaging. But this here is what the outside looks like, just like the palette. This here is our shades on the inside. The thing is, instead of giving us 10 shades like she normally would, this time she went a little extra and gave us 12 shades. So let me go ahead and show you what those 12 look like. And as someone who genuinely loves greens, this palette isn't quite as green as I would hope for it to be, but it gives me the option to give me my grungy neutrals that I absolutely love, and still gives me the option to do an all green look if I wanted to. So whenever you hear me talk about neutrals, you see why I love these mossy, grungy green types, and the fact that this was the last palette that Kim did, it makes me that much happier because I didn't think I would ever get greens from KKW, and now we have them. So got that put here. And the only other thing I got from that collection, because I believe she dropped a bunch of things, I got just the palette and one of the highlighters. I got the highlighter, I believe, in the shade Champion. It was the middle shade of 3, and so I wanted to go ahead and get it. I'm still not 100% sure that it'll match my complexion, but if not, we're just going to call it that. We're not going to go in and buy another one. Just a small little compact. And I got this one here because I have KKW highlighters, but they always came in that small plastic container, and I wanted something that just had a different format than her other ones. And so I just went ahead and grabbed this one. Once again, this is in the shade Champion. Just a nice neutral highlighter. Nothing to write home about. The formula may be absolutely amazing, but even if it is, it's going to get discontinued really soon. So that sucks that more than likely by the time I even get this review up, if you all want to see it for this one, that it may be gone. But if you want anything from the KKW website or from Kim or Kylie, I know on their respective websites they're having nice sales. But anything sold at Ulta, I believe, is half price. So if you want something from Kim or Kylie, try to get it from Ulta. The last two things I have in this particular bag are Cover FX bronzer duos. I wanted to get one because I love their blush duos, but I wasn't 100% sure on which one was my shade. So I grabbed both of them, and more than likely I'm going to give the darker one to a friend because I won't need it. But this is what the box looks like. It just says monochromatic, no, not monochromatic, yeah, monochromatic bronzer duo, matte and shimmer from Cover FX. Just a plain silver box, nothing to write home about. I'm hoping that's showing up because it's not giving me a really good reflection there. But inside you just have a matte bronzer and a shimmery bronzer. This one here is in the shade Sun Kiss Bronze. I believe this is the one that's going to be my complexion. This is the lighter of the two. Just a matte and shimmer bronzer. I love the blush one, so I wanted to go ahead and get that. Nice, warm. Go ahead, get the job done. And I believe this one is just a little too dark and a little too red for me. More than likely, I could make it work, but why put in that energy and effort when someone else could absolutely love it? This one here is Suntan Bronze. This is the darker and more warm tone version of the two. And I know plenty of people who would absolutely love this one. I'm still going to test them both out just to see which one I really like. But more than likely, afterwards, I'm going to give this one away. Alright, you guys, we are down to the last box inside of here, and I'm telling you, I am so happy to finally get this over with. What we have is a mixture of items. It's like high-end and drugstore, so let's get straight into it. For the higher end, first up we have the Norvina Volume 5 palette. I believe as of right now, you can only get this from the ABH website as well as Sephora. I got mine from Sephora because I was able to cash in, I think you cash in 2,500 points for a $100 gift card. I managed to get that and get this palette as well as the palette I'm going to show you next. The funny thing about it is, so far I've loved and collected all 5 of the Norvina palettes, but I think I've only actually worn numbers 2 and number 3. One of those I have a video for, and I'll leave that linked right here. Volume 1 is a purple palette that I didn't quite get into yet. Number 4 was a pinky neutral palette that I never got a chance to use. And now I'm already up to number 5. I'm like, Torrence, you ain't even used 2 of the 4 you got, and you're already on to the next. But this is what the palette itself looks like. It is a pro pigment palette, so many of these colors may not be considered eye safe, but there are 25 shades in here. And this one here is a much more deeper purple palette than the first one that they brought us. So I'm going to try to cover that large mirror there and give you a close-up view of these shades. And so far I've heard nothing but good reviews about this palette. But you got to remember, 1 is 25 shades. 2, this palette is $60. So many people are uncomfortable with paying such a price, but when you get this many shades, this many variety of textures, I'm all for it. And as somebody who's just a completionist and have the first 4, I had to go ahead and get number 5. And plus, once my sister saw a picture of this, she was instantly talking about it. So if nothing else, I wanted to at least make sure I have it in my collection in case for any reason she ever wanted to test it out. But just looking at it, I can already tell you, this deep purple here, but just by looking at it, I didn't know you all were in view, I can already tell. This purple here looks absolutely stunning. And this one here, D2, looks like she might be a pressed glitter. So I really want to hurry up and get into that. But we haven't tested this out yet. I was just so glad that it came completely intact. Because many times when you hear something got a pressed glitter, I get worried and scared that something's going to come broken. But she came all ready to go. And like I said, I got this as part of a duo set. because I wanted to use up that whole $100 gift card, because you can't just spend part of it. You have to spend the whole thing. So I just threw $20 of my own money with it and managed to get this one here that's also been raved about recently. This is the Pat McGrath's Venus and Fleurs Luxe Quad. You already know. I think I've collected every single Pat McGrath palette that she's released except for the 2 Star Wars palette, but I did get that holiday palette afterwards that had those shades. I did not want to compete with a Star Wars fan, so honey, I let that thing go. This is what the box looks like, and although I truly believe Pat McGrath has the best shimmer formula in the industry, as well as best packaging on her mothership palettes, when she first started doing these quads, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I absolutely loved it. But recently I have been hating the fact that instead of having metal on the back, she has plastic. I really, really wish with everything in me she would go back to having all metal on the back of her palettes. But besides that, this color story on the inside is absolutely stunning, honey. I have not used it yet. I have not tried it, but I can already tell you there's going to be nothing but good things to come from this color story. I already know the Pat McGrath formula, so I absolutely love it. But these shades here just look like they are going to be so everyday friendly, so romantic, so beautiful. Especially this shade right here. She looked like she a duochrome or a shapeshifter, honey. I can't wait to get into it. It only comes with this one matte right here, but because that matte is deep enough for me to put in my crease, I'm going to absolutely love her. But once again, I really, really, really wish Pat McGrath will go back to putting the metal backing on her palettes. But I have these two. I believe this one is like $58, so once again, I had to put like $20 of my own cash with it. But to know $20 for these 2 palettes from Sephora, it was worth that gift card. Next up in here, what all do we have? We have some stuff. Oh, a perfume I got. I absolutely love fragrance 99% of the time. If you catch me, more than likely this is the perfume I'm going to be wearing. This is the 5-ounce bottle of the Chanel Chance Entendre perfume. I personally prefer the perfume over the Toilette. 5 ounces is the largest bottle you can get of this, and it's also the most, how can I put it, the best price for value. Of course, they have smaller bottles that are more affordable, but once a year I go ahead, save up, get this, and it usually lasts me far more than a year. My old bottle is almost out, but I wanted to get another one before it was completely gone, and I don't want to open that one until that comes past, and that's not makeup. So what else do we got in here, sis? Oh, these. I bought some spatulas from J-Cat. These came from Ulta, and I just got them just trying to fill up my cart. I truly did not think that. I'm trying to double check to make sure that my visitor isn't coming through. Okay, we good. But I normally, in order to get free shipping, you have to spend a certain amount with most websites. And when I purchased some things from Ulta, I wanted to just go ahead and hit that minimum. So I bought these spatulas as a way of either mixing glitters, because I bought a bunch of glitters, or in those days when I'm just playing around, I can use them to mix lipsticks. So J-Cat has 2 different types of pro makeup spatulas. They're both all metals, handle and all. We have this more pointed one here. It's just a nice, small, pointed metal spatula, and I can actually open one up just so you can see what she looks like outside of the packaging. But they were different shapes, and I just wanted to see which one would be better used, you know, for me. And she has a nice little weight on her to be all metal. This is the type where you would just scoop some out, and it's easier to smash it down against a metal tray or anything. I personally prefer glass trays and metal utensils, but, you know, different strokes for different folks. I'm going to go ahead and get this back in there. So I have 2, just in case I truly fell in love with one. I always have a backup. Y'all know, in the makeup world, you really don't need backups. When you're someone like me, you can't help but to buy them. This other one is a much more rounded one, which I think, even though I probably wouldn't use this one for lipstick, this looks like it's much more suited for stirring and mixing things in a bowl. So this one here is the large rounded one. As you can see, she looks much more shaped like a spoon than anything. So this is probably good for mixing custom shades and things like that. The other one is probably going to be better for mixing lipsticks. But I got 2 of each because at all metal, I did not want to pay, you know, high-end brand prices. I usually get my spatulas and things from MAC. But at these prices on clearance, had to have those. Next up, oh, almost forgot about you, sis. This is a MAC Grand Illusion Glossy Liquid Lip Color in the shade Goldilocks. Got this, I believe I went to the MAC store with my friend and then we didn't see everything we wanted, so we ordered some things online and this came free with purchase. She wasn't going to use a color like this, so she just gave it to me and I took it, even though I may never use it. Although it looks like a nice neutral shade, it is extremely metallic and that's just not up her alley, so she went ahead and gave it to me, so we have that here. Once again, I'm not the biggest fan of metallic, lip things, but we're going to go ahead and try her out. This bag here, Kryoline Paint. I know because I wasn't able to use makeup in the month of June simply because I wanted to place a bet with my family to see if I can go all month without it. I was buying a bunch of things and this is their Clown White Paint. This is a foundation and I'm telling you, baby, Halloween is on the way and I wanted to make sure I have this because when it comes time to highlight, mix, or brighten anything, I've heard nothing but absolutely amazing things about the Kryoline Paint Stick, but they didn't have that and I wanted something that was just a small enough sample for me to get the point and be able to use it. I didn't want to buy the whole stick. So this little thing is, oh, it's 30 grams for him to be the little baby. Go ahead, they coming through with the product. So we have that here just to say we got it. What else do we got in here? This was a brush cleaner that my mother bought me. This wasn't something I got. I remember we were watching, tutorials and things on them. And so she got me this. I'm trying to make sure you all are getting a really good view of the box there. There we go. But it says it can clean your brushes in 30 seconds. So as a gift from my mother, I'm definitely going to try it to see if she works. But I find it hard to believe that it's going to be something that can, knock out my, my Period Spirit brush cleaner. You're going to have to come hard to go ahead and knock him out the way, but we're going to give her a try. Move this to the side so we don't knock her over. What else do we have in this box? What is in this bag? What you got up in that bag? What you got in that bag? Oh, baby. I broke my leg on May 20th, which I believe is a Thursday. Either that Friday or that Saturday, I had my very first install scheduled because I had a custom wig made. It's still already paid for, but I wanted to make sure if for any reason it started to lift or anything, I would be able to maintain it myself. So I went and bought from the hair diagram the bow hole lace glue remover, just in case I needed to take my wig off. I also bought the Bold Hold Skin Protect, because baby, I don't know nothing about hair and all that, so I wanted to make sure I could protect my own hair. And I also bought the Bold Hold Active Lace Glue to be able to make sure I can lay it back down. Once again, don't know nothing about laying lace down on myself, but baby, I was going to make sure I got to learning. I know how to cover up my lace with my foundation and stuff if need be. But I didn't want to have to always go back to my stylist and get everything. So I bought the products for my hair to do it myself, but haven't got the chance to do it yet. I know if nothing else, at least by my birthday in September, I'm going to make sure I get it. But I wanted to make sure I had this as well. And we're going to keep it real with y'all. We're going to be honest. The last two sets of things in this box, I didn't know if I was going to show because of the controversy, but we're going to put it to you like this. The first set of stuff I bought because I genuinely wanted to support the influencer and I genuinely love and support the things she does, and I truly believe this company comes out with absolutely amazing products. The problem is, I didn't realize the reason the brand was having such a sale is because some controversial things came out about them. I ain't gonna get into all of that because this is a haul video, not a drama video right now. But if you want to know the drama about it, just type in Oprah controversy. You will find it yourself. But because I genuinely love and support Samantha March and I had already purchased them, I made sure to get everything. I bought everything from both collabs. I purchased a few other things, but because right now I'm on the fence about supporting Oprah, I did send everything back except the Samantha March items because I feel it's very terrible that during her time when she's trying to promote her collab, the brand itself is having issues. So anything that did not have her name on it, I did send back and got my refund already. But the rest of this stuff is for Samantha March. And the first thing we have is this palette here. This is the PR bundle for her first collection. I did not get it on the first go round, but now that she has her second collab going up, they did put this on a very big extreme discount. So I went ahead and got it like that. Like, okay, baby, I'm always down to save a little money. I'm always down to save a little money. And the thing is, you can see, Samantha's a fair-skinned woman. So all of this may not necessarily fit my complexion, but this was more about supporting her than worried about getting makeup that fit me. Inside it says we have Chick Lit, River, Star Inspired, Millie, and Story. So I'm going to open each item up individually, show you exactly what they are. We're going to set this here. It looks like it says Start Inspired is a highlighter. And I believe this is a mixture of two different highlighters that are already permanent from the brand that she loves. I believe it's like a mixture of Star Island and Blissful. I'm not sure, but I just got it just to support her. It's half like ivory, half pink. Something that would be beautiful on her, but once again, got it just to support Samantha March. This next one here is Chick Lit. Not sure what this would be. Oh, it looks like a blush duo. This is, yep, a blush duo for Chick Lit. So you get two different blushes, or you can be like me and take one fat brush in there and swivel it around. Be able to enjoy both shades. It looks like one matte, one shimmer. Yep, that's what I'm getting from this. The next one is River. I know River is a bronzer duo because I've heard people mentioning this before. Once again, one matte, one shimmer. So that's the River bronzer duo. Got this just to support Samantha because it's a pretty good chance that color is not going to fit my skin tone. The last two items in this is the long-lasting liquid lipstick. This is in Story. So that's what she looks like. Nice neutral mauve color liquid lipstick, something perfect for every day. And then for gloss, we have Millie, which is a nice like clearish one that has nice silver reflex. Probably something I personally would not have picked up, but because it was part of the Samantha March collab, I wanted to go ahead and support her, so we have that here. And that was what was in this first little bundle here. Once again, got that just to support Samantha, but then they came out and they did another set. This one here was a three-piece set. This is a three-piece gloss set. So this is the Samantha March one. I believe this came out with that first set as well. Show you what this looks like in the box. I believe these three glosses are called Peony, Millie, and Queen. Wait, is Millie in that other one? So you mean to tell me now I got two Millie lip glosses because I wasn't paying attention, just bang. This over here. Okay, so there's like a pinky one, a white one, and a like a nice nudie one. This pinky one is called Peony. So this is a lip gloss, part of that trio. I've already showed it to you once, but in this set, here's another one for Millie. That nice white one. So now, more than likely, I'm probably going to spend time using one to mix, taking that other one and using it by itself, or probably give it to somebody else, because I'm not going to need to. I'll probably give it to somebody else. My sister going to see this video and come grab it from me. This last one, this nudie one, is called Queen. So I think she's probably the prettiest one of them all. So we have the three lip glosses here. And we're going to put this back in the box once we find it. Alright, next what we have is this here. The new Oprah collab that she have, and this is called the Lives of Draft palette. It's just a small little palette. It's nice and compact, which makes it even better. This was the second collab with Oprah, and this is what made me go and get it, is because once you open it up, there is no mirror, but there are 8 eyeshadows, and I believe it's a blush, a highlighter, and a bronzer. But look at that. Actually, let me take that covering off of it. But this palette here is so cute that more than likely, I probably would have bought this even if it wasn't a collab. but the fact that they did collab with Samantha March, meaning I wanted to support her and get everything from the collection, so I have this as well. But once again, there were several items that I did have that I did not send back because I was like, yeah, oh, for y'all acting a fool, and honey, what we not going to do is give you our money and let you do that. Actually, nope, saw one more thing. I didn't send this back either because this looks like a collab too. This is the Francesca Tola, I believe that's how you say her name. This is the Infinite palette, and I didn't send this back because once again, this was a collab item. And although I don't know who Francesca is, I did not want to take out my frustrations on Oprah out on her. I'm quite sure she worked hard and deserves her support. So this is what this looks like on the inside. I believe this is just a 9-pan eyeshadow palette. Something I just got just to make sure I could support her. Trying my best to give you all a view of these colors without it looking blurry and being in focus. Hoping that does it for you. But yeah, I completely forgot I had this palette. Once again, once I realized this was a collab, I'm like, Francesca didn't do nothing wrong, so why send this back and make her lose some money or sales? So we have that. But this last one here, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I've been on the fence about what we gonna do with this young lady. I still haven't decided, but while in the hospital, honey, ooh baby, some of them pain meds make you drowsy and make you dizzy and make you tired. And I remember just sitting there thinking, that palette is so pretty. I would really like it. That palette is amazing. Imagine how I felt when I realized my drowsy ass bought it. Ain't no point in lying to y'all. I did buy it. Ain't no excuses, but I got it. And that is the L'Oreal Nudie Patootie 2 palette. My apologies, but I can't lie to y'all. I got to keep it real. I already had the Nudie Patootie 1, and y'all know she was already in my drawer shame. If y'all want to see more items in my makeup drawer shame, check out that video right there. But this here is the Nudie Patootie 2 palette, and baby, under the influence, I got it, so we got it here. More than likely, we probably won't do a tutorial with it just because she already in my drawer shame. But just to show y'all and be honest with y'all, I did get it. The palette looks just as plain as the box. And this is what she looked like on the inside. I ain't gonna lie to y'all though. These colors on the inside, baby, she popping. She a cute, nice little soft, natural, warm, pinky palette. If this is your type of jam, I don't see how you could be disappointed by the color story. I know nothing of the formula because I've never tried any of L'Oreal's eyeshadows. Even though I have Nudie Patootie 2, 1 and 2, I've never used either. But I do have this one here, and I wouldn't go lie and just say I don't got it. Just, oops. That's all I can say. She got my money and ain't no point of sending it back. So, I don't even think she has a return policy, but we got that one too. And looking down in the box, I think that's everything. The only thing I see left that I did not show you all, what are you? Oh, I guess this is what this is. Let me grab both of y'all. The last two items in here, looks like I didn't send back this, which I didn't realize. It's an Oprah liquid lipstick. This is in the shade, do you want to tell me? Brickell. It's a red shade. And I know I wouldn't order no red Oprah liquid lipstick, so this had to be free with purchase, honey, because I would have never ordered that. I would have never ordered that. So this had to be free with purchase, which is why he wasn't sent back. The last things I'm seeing in here is a sample from Charlotte Tilbury. This had to come from Sephora. This is a sample of their Pillow Talk Push-Up Lashes Mascara. So more than likely, I'm going to test that out just to see what she's like. Came with this little card here. But that appears to be everything that is in here. And I hope you all truly did enjoy this haul. Once again, I'm in my mother's storage room. I'm not at home in my normal lighting situation. So I really do hope that you all enjoyed everything. Please forgive me if anything was out of focus, if the lighting or anything was bad. But I promise you, and I believe August 1st, I am planning on going back home. So everything is just going to continue to get better and better. I do apologize if this video is long, but as you can see, I have purchased a bunch of things since I've been down. I know. I promised you all I was going to get a little bit better with my shopping, but I was hurt, honey. I was bored and I needed something to do. So if you all have anything you want to see in a dedicated video, make sure you leave me a comment down below. If there's any particular thing that you did not see that you want me to go out and grab, go ahead, leave me a comment letting me know that. If you truly enjoyed this video, make sure you're subscribed and give this video a thumbs up so other people can see it. I'm really debating on when I get back home, because I have so much makeup to put up, to do a huge declutter, because if all of this stuff got to get put up on my shelves and they are already crammed, something got to come off the shelf. So when I get back home in August, be on the lookout for a declutter video. But once again, I hope you all truly did enjoy yourselves. I hope you all had a wonderful time watching this video. But until next time, remember to practice, continue to stay blessed, and until next time, goodbye, YouTube.